How's it going, everyone? It's your girl, Rocket Gal. Welcome to a tier list of the Brave Heroes, the Choose Your Legends heroes. We've got CYL 8, and we also got the CYL 6 refines, and now that we've got all that taken care of, we can finally tier them up based off of all the updated new units, all the updated new skills, weapons, and stuff like that. So, yeah, this is going to be the definitive tier list. Every other tier list out there is going to be incorrect, because obviously. So, yeah, and joining me today are my lovely squad from the Chaos Sessions. I guess you could call them the Chaos Squad. It is Satachi and ENEMii.
Oh, people, what is good? What is good?
Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, Rocket Gal, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, because honestly, I would not be able to do this on my own, because I feel like I just misjudge everything, like just super, and I probably just, I don't know, I feel like I get bad reads sometimes on the meta. I need my squad, you know, to be like, Rocket Gal, actually, that's incorrect. So, yeah, thanks for joining, you know, it's you know, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of information on the meta that I need, and you know, I definitely want to do it with my boys, my homies, my fam. So yeah.
Oh yo, let's get this party started. I know me and Satachi are very happy to be here, ranking probably the most popular, or some of the most popular units ever made in Fae. I think it's going to be a good time.
For sure.
It'll be great, yeah, for sure.
Alright, so the way we're gonna rank this is we're just gonna rank them based off of how they are in the meta today, and we're gonna assume like them at their full potential, or what we believe is at their full potential, and yeah, that kind of covers it. The tier list, like the tiers are here. S is like, you know, the best, and E is the worst. So yeah, and we're gonna go from order from CYL 1 to CYL 8. So is there anything else I probably should covered before we get started?
No, I think that's pretty much everything, yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say, sounds pretty good.
All right, cool. So, I've got all the units pages brought up on my other screen, but I guess we should start out with CYL 1. Okay, so let's start with Ike. Good old Ike. He used to be pretty great as an Omni tank, the best Omni tank in the game. But how does he fare now?
He was the Omni tank back in the day. Oh man, I definitely remember those days.
I would put him at the bottom, right? Well,
I would, yeah, honestly, he's probably here. I mean, like, all of his DR is percent-based DR, and everyone and their mother these days has percent-based DR piercing. So it's not easy being Brave Ike these days, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you're pretty much right. Yeah, he's pretty much Emblem Ike, just without the damage reflection, or true DR, or
anything.
Yeah,
good.
pretty much anything. Yeah.
It's so bad. And how do you think he would fare with like one of the arcane axes? So we got arcane downfall and arcane Prima, whatever you want to call it. I don't think arcane downfall is any better, honestly.
No, definitely not.
Not that good. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but low-key, he's not fast, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
Prima's normally
for the
super
fast
slow
units. So like he probably doesn't want to run Thrima. So then you want to give him downfall, but downfall isn't good at all. So then he was definitely better before Breath of Life 4 came around. Like maybe you want to slap Acts of Devotion, but even now, like, I think it's very difficult. Like, Acts of Devotion was a player phase weapon anyway.
Right, exactly.
And he's an enemy phase. So.
Completely enemy phase, for sure.
It's very difficult being Brave Ike.
It ain't easy being in CYL 1, unfortunately. So I think E tier is probably where he starts out. Were you gonna say something, Satachi?
Oh no, I was gonna say he's unfortunately he's at that point where you literally have to revamp everything, so he just becomes generic.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
So I think he's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sorry,
cool.
Oblivion.
All right. Yeah. Well, you know, the truth hurts sometimes. So you know, it's not gonna get much better, because next up is Brave Lynn, and you know she had her heyday, but she's aged grandma at this point. I don't think she's. In fact, I think of all the CYL1 refined, she got shafted the most because it's just stats, nothing new, nothing crazy. I think she's probably gonna belong here as well. Unfortunately,
I also agree. Yeah, she's. Again, you also have to like revamp everything to the point where it's like generic. Not slow, but not fast. Cav archer. So yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is her stat allocation still isn't good. So even at her hypothetical best, when you gut her complete kit, like she still won't be as good relative to other, like bows. It's very difficult.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'd probably put her above Ike because there's a lot of good bows in the game, right? Even without the arcane ones, like you have the special jumping one from the Winter Claw.
That's true. Yeah.
There was like, I know there's some really good ones after that. So for some reason, bows are like given very well inheritables. For that reason alone, I would barely put her above Ike. But they're both pretty dog. Like they're not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with you. Yeah, she has the benefit of being a ranged nuke if you can even make her a nuke, but
That's true. She could kind of work, but she would just be like generic. Like essentially, she's generic.
Yep. Pretty much.
Which is, I mean, should I just rename E to generic tier?
Yeah, like
Probably. Yeah.
All right, that seems about right? That seems kind of cruel, but I mean that's kind of the truth, right?
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, I think we're done with dogpiling on Lynn, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So next up is Brave Roy, who actually got a pretty good refine at the time. But unfortunately, his father also shared it, so it felt like he was overshadowed a lot. But it didn't stop the fact that he was still pretty decent. His speed stat and everything were pretty all right for his time. But like. Nowadays, it's probably, like, he's a generic again, right? I've seen more people, like, use Arcane, to Devour.
Yeah, Arcane Devour.
Yeah, I've seen that way more often than him actually using his normal weapon, so, yeah.
Oh, poor Roy.
It's funny you say he was good after his refine, because I wasn't playing around then, so all I've known is just Brave Roy bad. He's been bad like all the time I've known him, and unfortunately that still remains the case even today. It's really tough. I think it's hard being a melee cav, especially if you don't have like some really stupid gimmick, which like hint obviously there's a lot of CYL, we have a couple CYL units in here that are melee calves with stupid gimmicks, but if you don't have anything crazy or weird like that, I think it's difficult. Like you are not good. I would definitely put Roy under Ike. It's not by much, but
yeah, I definitely
I would
agree,
put him under
for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think so. Well, I feel like his player phase is probably better than Ike's enemy phase. Maybe because enemy phase is a lot more tough, whereas you could give Roy the flared sparrow assassin strike, and he could kind of work. So
this is actually true. Yeah, because I yoinked Oblivion's Brave Roy, and it has like all that stuff. So
well, you actually got his Brave Roy.
I did.
Nice.
It was like the only good option, so that should say a lot of what that Binding Worlds like run was.
Oh man, what the hell?
That's true. Yeah, like I just kind of hate how Breath of Life 4 completely ruins those pre-combat damage.
Oh yeah, it sucks, man.
And it's so common, and not just Breath of Life 4, but also Haithran, which has the one on crack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They gave Keaton also Breath of Life like 5 or whatever. I mean, it's selfish, but I just feel like they're not going to stop here. I think it's hard to. His player phase is still doable. Like he's got 3 moves, which is better than. Yeah, I would not argue. I still think he's like a little bit worse than Ike, but I would not argue too hard on putting him over. They're both bad.
Yeah.
So I think they're interchangeable.
Okay. I think for now I'm just gonna put Ike below. It actually kind of hurts because he was insane back then, but
he was.
Faye meta has not been kind to our boys.
No. Definitely
so
not.
yeah, and this is all subject to change down the line, but this is how I'm gonna have it for now. So next up is Lucina. who is actually pretty decent. Okay, no, she's still generic if I'm being honest. She does not use her weapon
still generic. Yeah. Sometimes, surprisingly, yeah. Sometimes you actually do still see her with her weapon.
It's so bad though. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, not
Yeah,
bad, but
but
not
I
good.
will say,
I don't think they do it for.
I
ideological
will
reasons.
say, out
Yeah.
of everyone in this tier, she actually has the most workable stat line.
You think?
I will say that.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I see her with like Arcane Lewin, and it works. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would not complain about putting her at the top also, just by virtue of like, at least her PRF does some support. Like it's not,
It's not great. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like losing your mind over it, but it's better than literally these guys. So I can see an argument for putting her above Lynn, but definitely above Ike and Roy. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. This tier list is kind of hard to order. I can't like move Ike to the left. I mean, not like I was going to, but I can't. I can only move things to the right, kind of like this. It's
I see. That's kind of fun.
it's it's fine. I can manage it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, so I think we're probably done bashing on CYL 1, but I think
Yeah.
our ranking of them is probably around this this kind of ranking where Lynn, unironically, is still like the best among them, but she's fucking bad. She's generic. They're all generic at this point. Where okay, maybe Lucina sometimes you see it, but if I'm being honest, I have not seen her PRF in a long time.
You do that for fun. You definitely don't do it for like a logical reason if you're still running PRF, I think.
That's true. I mean, well, Fate players logical. That's
it doesn't make sense.
It's a match made in heaven, all right? Okay. All right, so let us move on to CYL2. So this gets a little more fun, I suppose. Let's start off with Brave Hector. So, when he got his refine, that was pretty nice. It was pretty good for a while, too. Like, maybe 2 or so years.
Yeah, he was top tier.
Yeah.
But he is definitely aged now. Like, you look at his weapon now, it gets a guaranteed follow-up attack and prevents his foes' follow-up attacks. I mean, no follow-up is everywhere now, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny that they're slowly, like, unintroducing null follow-up. Like, Shez doesn't, legendary male Shez, he doesn't have it now.
Yeah, I noticed that too, actually.
So it's like, I kind of wonder if they're trying to do weird things with, like, the speed and then also the attack and then the frozen. So there's a lot of different things they're trying. But for now, at least, null follow-up is incredibly common, and I think it will be as long as people keep running Soaring Guidance and Guidance 4. Like, I feel like that's
yeah.
And the wave skills, like one of the wave skills also does null follow-up. So those are the most common ways to get NFU now, I feel. But until those like start to expire or run out, this guy is gonna have a tough. I mean, he'll have a tough time no matter what. But yeah, NFU is very troubling for him.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's everywhere. Like, honestly, you can outsource it so easily. Everyone's gives an FU to everyone, and it's a seal even. So it's like, so that I can see why they're not giving it to like Legendary Stage, for instance, because you could just outsource it relatively easy these days.
Yeah. They gotta have some like weakness or something to like ruin the seal slot or something,
Right, exactly.
Also, neutralizing penalties and having null armor is actually a crazy combo. Like, I remember when Hinenoka was like the top. I remember when Hinenoka was like top tier, like nuke. Like, unironically, people were bringing Vector back.
Yeah, he was bringing back Vector.
He actually could not like defeat him, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Like, I'm genuinely convinced that he is one of the strongest examples of Faye not understanding like their very own game. Like, he is probably responsible for raising the power creep ceiling like several years within the span of his refinement.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. Like, the reason why power creep is so high now might be due to this guy. Like, everything after this guy is just insane, but they had to be insane to even come close to his level with the way they brought him in, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this is a toughie because he is by no means good, but he's still he could be a savior unit, and savior units are still, valuable.
He's still okay. I'd personally, at the very least, put him in C.
Really?
Okay, I think that's fair.
I wouldn't put him at B.
Yeah.
Like, he's
I was
not that
actually
common
thinking
and good,
D.
but like
D. Whoa.
D, dang.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, obviously we're ranking relative to everyone else.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
That's true, actually.
I mean, that is
So-
a certified enemy savage ranking there. I love it.
Oh my god,
You can't do
guys,
anything.
I
You touch
don't,
everything.
guys, I don't know why I'm so harsh. I don't know why I'm so harsh on everyone,
No,
but
it's okay. It's okay.
like he's definitely a tier above the generic like losers or whatever.
Right, because he still uses his weapon.
Yeah, he still uses his weapon.
Yeah.
I think I would value his performance as a near save over everyone else. I still think near saves aren't like
Near save.
as because like honestly I don't see him running far save. Like I just think because what would he survive? Because even Hinoka isn't good now, so
Right, yeah.
would he not cripple to the rest of the like everything else now? Like if I were to use him, I would put him near save, and that's actually why I think he's better, because we see the value of near saves like going up a tiny bit, not a lot, but with like crazy guys like Felix, and then even Winter Edelgard, I feel like she kind of raised near saves.
Right,
value
right,
a
yeah,
tiny
I feel
bit.
that too.
Yeah.
So I can see him C, like I would not die on the hill. He's got to be D. I can see him C for a little bit, but I still just have a low opinion of him, because if I'm running a near save, I still would rather run like, who's the best near save now? Like, is it not Amelia or even
Oh, near save? I don't think it's a
the
good
Ephraim?
one.
Yeah, I don't know about Amelia. She's more of a far savior.
I think low-key probably Ephraim, just because of Felix being like everywhere.
Oh, like Valentine's Ephraim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. He's actually not a bad unit. I know people slept on him, but yeah, now that, Felix is running around everywhere, he's actually not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, we can put him C or D. If you guys want to put him C, we can put him C for now and then readjust later. But
I kind of agree with the D for now. Again, there's always, subject to
readjust.
change down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think let's just put him for D for now.
Okay.
All right, next up is Brave Celica, who had a fun little niche as a brave hitting Gale Forcer for a little bit. That was kind of cute with double line, Brave Lion or something as her B skill. Yeah,
Yeah.
double Lion, which is all right. But the weapon itself, even back then, I thought it wasn't that good. It basically just like gave her the blade effect. I think that was in her original weapon. I don't really remember. But just gave her some stats and essentially like times like a cooldown count -1 at the end of her combat and some healing. It's really not that good. I mean, I'm pretty tempted to put her into generic, because I've seen a lot of people, the very few people that still use her, basically ditch her weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy to put there. Like, I agree with you. I think she should be at the bottom.
I also agree with you. I've never been. I know that Celica has like a lot of fans, especially as Gale Force, but I love Gale Force, but nah, she wasn't it for me.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, she just didn't kill anything.
I will say she's probably the best one there. I will say that much.
The best of
Correct.
generics.
Yeah.
That's
I think she's so bad. I'd rather run one of the cool bows than her. Like,
yeah. I
think
kind of
she's-
feel like Lynn actually she just thrives because of all the bows. It's not even like any of her own merits. It's like there's so many good bows out there these days.
Yeah.
Just randomly, not even the arcane
Yeah.
ones. So, I think do you think she's better than Lucina?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah.
because she's like speedier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I think she has the higher speed stat than. Yeah. Then also.
Okay, yeah, she's got like 39 speed.
Yeah.
So that's actually not too bad for back then. So I think that's about right for her. Onto Ephraim, who love his art, but it's
Nothing.
his
I have it.
refund was kind of cool for the time until they were like, you know what, we could do it again, but slightly better, or a lot better, obviously. So Garm refined, gave him a bit of healing, some stats. It gave him a guaranteed follow-up attack, and prevents his follow-up attack. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's not looking good for our boy here.
I'm not gonna cap. I'd put him in generic. I've
Oh,
never
really?
been a Brave Ephraim fan. I've
I'm with
never been a
Satachi.
Brave Ephraim fan.
I'm with
Ooh.
Satachi.
Yeah. Like, even now, you don't even see... I feel like even back in the day when he got his refine, like, no one really used it. I don't know.
I kind of felt that too, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Which kind of confused me. I'm like, I didn't think it was that bad, but yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but then they
and,
have...
like, especially now, Garm, you need a bonus to have no follow-up.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's...
Breathe and get that for free.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
It is insane.
So, yeah.
I feel like people weren't... Because didn't Brave Edelgard already come out by the time Garm got the refine?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So
wow,
yes.
that's a crazy comparison. Yeah,
So you're probably
right.
never
crap.
ever using
They just
Garm
gave
even
up on
with
Ephraim. That's crazy.
yeah. Right?
So
This is
sad.
CYL 2, and then they upgraded like 2 years after, right? So
Yeah.
it's like-
Wow.
yeah, that's probably why you never saw it. That's
That's
probably why.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm putting
it's
him
so
at
sad.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Is he worse than Ike? Like, I feel like the generic tier, it's very easy to like have small up and downs. Like they're all so bad. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's too hard. But like, yeah, at this point you're just arguing which role you like better as opposed to the other, and that always fluctuates in the state
That's
of the game.
fair.
So I feel like it's happy to batch them up.
Okay. I think he's probably better than Celica just because he can run
Of
safe.
Garm?
He can at least prevent one of his allies from dying.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
But what about you, Satachi?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. I really don't like Ephraim, so y'all can call the shots here.
What? No, we're moving. I think we should like even imagine both of them at their worst. Like at least he is a potato sack. Like what would Celica
I think Ephraim's worse than Celica. I think he's worse
really?
than like even Lucina too.
Huh.
Yeah, I really don't like Ephraim. He's
but Ephraim is useful without doing a single thing. Like just
Yeah,
by
he
running
can
a
at least
safe
body
skill.
block, get
He
down
body
to
blocks at least
Obama kind
one
of
hit.
situation.
So
I don't know, cause
Obama.
I don't know. It's weird.
I think I'm okay keeping him here for now. We can go back to the generics sometime soon because I think we're going to be done with the generics soon-ish.
Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Soon-ish,
hopefully, because
yeah.
it's starting to get a little depressing.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Oh,
crowded
actually,
down
yeah.
there.
I think super soon. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think yeah.
So, next up is
I think
Veronica.
I think this is the last generic.
I
yeah.
kind of think so too.
I think everyone
don't.
else has like.
Well,
a
actually,
I think.
I think there might be another one, but
I can see
maybe.
like 4 of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
yeah,
we'll
we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, but
yeah.
in terms of Veronica, I'm not gonna lie, I thought her weapon refine sucked. Like it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It just was a little bit more stats and for like her allies, which is like cool, I
So
guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so fucking tame. I know she was broken for her time, but like Jesus,
She was
man.
broken. Yeah.
So
Oh, man.
I think we're going to have to put her in generic. I think I'd rather use the arcane arcane charmer
Charmer,
or
right?
something. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Can you guys remind me what that weapon does again?
I believe it's
I just know it's better.
I'm
than
trying to
Chrono.
think. I'm pretty sure it's restores 7 HP to allies like around you. I think 3 spaces. All stats +5 charge, and then I think +7 like damage per attack. I think.
Wait, charge?
yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, like
No, like special
+1. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
special
special
charging. I was
charging.
like, holy
Special
shit,
charging.
Yeah,
it gives
yeah.
charge.
No.
Yeah, no, I forgot. There's an actual like charge status. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
special
I meant
charge.
like
Yeah.
+1 charge. Yeah, +1 charge.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
so actually not even that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
Like,
good.
actually.
So yeah,
guaranteed
generic.
got
follow
order.
support.
protect too, I think, and slaying, which is like
Yeah,
better
and
than-
+7 damage, which honestly the healers really need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, low key,
Probably.
at least better than Ephraim.
Definitely better than
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, at least better than Ephraim. I don't care where she goes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care where she goes as long as she's.
Well,
Like, okay, how I see it is like, okay, I feel like at this point, generic tier is based on your own resources and what you have. Ephraim, like, let's be honest, if you're not tanking at least 1 hit, you're not doing your job right. And right now, I think, let's say, like, we're gonna highball Ephraim.
Yeah.
You need shield fighter.
right. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that too.
So, unless you have that, I don't know, man. I think Ephraim's kind of.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, he's like dog. But I guess I view the saves like point as the body block more than just like they don't. I mean, obviously, I'd rather they live than like explode.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I can see where you're coming from. They're both very bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of bad, man. But what else do like staff units have above like
They
armor?
have the
For instance?
flash
Like they have
special.
a decent number like offensive specials now, right?
Yeah, they have the flash special, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is
And
actually
they got a
pretty
lot
insane.
of skills within the year, like dazzling, like whatever they're called. But there's multiple of them. So I actually would rather a staff unit than definitely Roy, Ike, and like maybe Lucina. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
I
fact-
agree too. Yeah, I think Lucina's
yeah, like the
slow
fact
down.
that they have the special, they have even the magic shield and a whole bunch of disc skills they can run. I still think staff units are bad, but relative to the rest of the garbage, I think she can at least do something.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's between Ephraim and Veronica. I just feel like Ephraim. I mean, I don't have any thing to back this up, but with shield fighter, he can at least probably survive. Definitely not kill anything. It won't. Like, I think the only thing I could probably kill him are like pretty decent B tier nukes in this day's meta with shield fighter. So I think I probably would have Ephraim above Veronica, whose offenses is not that good. If I recall
I'm with
correctly.
you, but for the opposite reason. It's because I just don't like staff units. I just don't think they're that good. So I agree with you for the opposite reason. I'm like, even at her best, I don't think she's as good as Ephraim, who can body block. So
right, yeah. But then Celica, I think
I actually
Celica is.
Yeah, I think both of them are better than Celica.
Right, I feel that too. So I feel like this is going to be my order for now with the generics.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like Celica and Lucina are kind of similar. They're just really speedy, generic kind of units. At least, yeah, like, I don't think Veronica is good, but she does have a decent amount to work with.
She has ways to contribute, right?
Right, she does kind of something. I mean, it's not good, and she can't kill anything, and she dies to everything, but it's something. It's something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I think, and Ephraim, at the very least, he could prevent one of your good units from dying, and that is some value, I suppose.
Yeah. Like, he's immediately useful, like, the moment he's in play, as opposed to all of these guys, which are not ever useful.
Exactly, yeah, that's how I feel too. Okay, so I think that's good there. Next up is Brave Alm. So he got a pretty interesting refine. He gets the, like, sweep effect. He gets extra movement, which at the time was a lot more rare, and he gets some stats. I think it was like plus 10 to everything in combat, which is, at the time, was decent. Nowadays, it's like everyone has that, so, yeah, I don't know. He does a decent amount of damage with his A skill. I know his Sense scale, not many people actually use it, and honestly, most units nowadays just have that built into their weapon, so most people don't even run that. I'm tempted to put him in D, below Hector.
I actually think he's generic, to be honest.
I don't think he's generic.
You
Whoa,
guys think
alright,
he's generic?
no.
Okay, hold on.
People actually still use his weapon.
But,
So
Yeah.
I think
my
that
question is,
automatically.
like, why? Like he gets the sweep, but he's not fast. Right? He needs to outspeed.
Yeah, he really is not that fast.
He needs to outspeed to get. First of all, the sweep is only on, like, it's not on everyone, right? It's like on a few weapon types.
Right, it's like the
And then he
melee
needs-
ones, I think.
And then he needs
It
to
is
be
on the melee
fast,
ones.
but he's not fast whatsoever, right? He's like middling speed.
Yeah, it's really slow. Even for the time, I felt like it wasn't that fast. He was slower, I believe, than Celica. She had like 39 speed when she released, and Alm had 35.
So other than that, he's got extra move, which I guess it's nice, but we've got
Alm had a
warping like
place
crazy
in
with Celica.
SD and Ether raids for a long while. That's all I'm gonna say.
SD.
Really?
I don't
He
know about
did?
SD.
Yeah, that +3. Yeah, people used to call him Horse Alm because he was like.
He's got the move, right?
Yeah.
Oh
he got
man,
the
that's taking me
move,
back.
you know?
I think I kind of remember that now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, like,
he was
kinda
actually
short-lived,
really
right? I feel like-
insane.
like that did
Yeah.
not last very long.
I felt like it lasted a while for me. I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
I
But,
could be wrong.
I can
but-
see why he would be good in an era where you don't have everyone getting extra move or guidance or warping or Celica ring or like obviously he would be good then. But nowadays I think he's generic because like what he doesn't even have slaying on his weapon, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
looking
that
at
is
it now,
actually.
like what
Yeah.
would you do with his weapon? And then you also mentioned how the A skill is dog. Like even his A skill is not good.
It's not good.
Okay, his A skill is kind of dog now. Yeah, you're right.
So if his A skill is dog, he can't even use half his weapon. Then and the other half is just like 5 stats. Like I think he's generic. That's my
I wouldn't
opinion.
say that because a lot of near saves are also slow, so I think that's really cool. I think he'd be a good niche near save buster. Actually.
Oh, that's a kind of a decent point. Yeah,
That's
with,
actually a good point.
Yeah.
with the
So-
sweep and everything. Yeah, I'm actually tempted. I think
And
I
I
might keep
will
him
say he does actually just like wreck dragons. I will say that too, unless it's like Corin earlier. But
Right. Yeah. I think I might keep him at the bottom of D. It's not looking very good. I am tempted to put him generic because I feel like. Yeah, because there's so many easier ways to outsource movement these days in the current meta. That +1 movement innately is really not that impressive these days, especially for like an infantry unit. But the sweep effect is not, insignificant, and we only ever have one other, like very few ways to outsource NCD, and not terribly many units have it innately as well. So
Yeah. I still
oh,
think he's
you're right. I just remember Felicia exists, so she'll also give
yeah.
dragon
No,
effect.
the
Exactly,
dragon.
yeah.
This unit's generic. Never mind.
Wait, you just say put him generic?
Yeah, no, never mind. I forgot. Yeah.
What?
Well, Felicia just ruins his existence now.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. It feels wrong
I
to do
forgot. Okay, I do
I-
feel kind
I
of wrong
think-
doing
I
that too,
think-
but
no,
that's
I think
because
we
of his
should put him
legacy.
down. Like even the
Okay.
sweep thing, like what if you're running Brave Soren? Like then you're putting like the most busted Omni tank you have, and they're definitely fast, so he will not sweep them, right?
that. Okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
it's
Okay,
like,
so
I just think he's bad.
yeah, I agree. And I think he's probably just similar to Celica, maybe even slightly worse.
Yeah.
Maybe around like this.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, Satachi.
Yeah, sure.
Here, how fast is Lucina? Let's check the stats. Oh my god! Almond released slower than Lucina. Okay,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Gen 1
That is
unit? There's
stupid.
No way.
That is so bad. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's slow.
That is
Man,
terrible.
he's not moving anywhere.
Yeah,
He's not-
yeah, exactly. Okay, actually, one quick fun brainstorming question. If Send Scale deals 50% of units attack, do you think that would be good instead of its 25? Do you think that would be
Yes.
worth over like giving him something else?
I would.
Yeah.
I would not.
50% of your attack,
I mean,
I think is kind of crazy.
I guess for me, I'm trying to future-proof because like they love to make good A skills in particular, and then also they haven't upgraded A skills for infantries in a while, right? Like they're still making like finish is probably what they consider premium now, even though it's 2 years old.
Right.
So I just have a sense that like soon they're gonna slap a new A skill for infantries that are like like what they consider better than finish or like an up whatever they consider more premium. And the day that comes, I'm like, yeah, I would not run Send Scale. But it's also like if my prediction doesn't pan out, then it's hard to say.
Okay, gotcha. All right,
I just
that
feel
was
like they'll make a more premium infantry A skill soon.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, you know how Faye loves to power creep itself, so all the time.
Yeah, tier 5 skills and branches and like. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like,
Yeah, it's a fun time being a Fate player. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Micaiah, who had a decent weapon. I remember when she was a Hall of Forms unit with Fallen Ike, she actually steamrolled the whole thing pretty easily, thanks to her dual effectiveness. I believe, what else did she have? She, man, there's so much reading to do. So she gets +4 to everything. What else? She grants bonus to everything during combat equals the current penalty on each of target stats. Okay, so basically just like a penalty kind of situation. Is that similar to penalty doubler or something?
Yeah, similar-esque.
Yeah.
Okay, which is fine at the time. And yeah, and then she gets a guaranteed follow-up attack, which, you know, that does not bode well because NFU is kind of everywhere. So I am but I don't think she's generic.
I don't think she's generic.
Because she does have dual effectiveness, which can come in clutch at times. But I'm curious to hear what ENEMii has to say about this.
I think she's pretty bad. I would easily put her in generic.
Whoa.
But the only reason why I can see the arguments against it isn't because she is good, but because Arcane Sonia's weapon just isn't that good either. So it's like,
yeah.
I think the moment they make a better green tome, you definitely, I feel like you'd swap that
I
out.
still think her weapon, I still think her perf aged pretty well. Like, I know, like, the very first thing that comes to your mind is, well, what about the penalty cleansing or whatever? Yeah. Well, I've been saying this to other people, but you know how, like, yeah, sure, that's a thing. But do you know how many skills we have that inflict penalties in the middle of the turn? Yeah, think about that. All right, I rest my case.
Yeah, I can.
That's my thoughts on that. So faux penalty doubler would be pretty freaking good.
Like, definitely, I don't think she's better than Hector.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I just don't think she's generic at all. I can agree with that.
I feel like she's like one bad slip away from being generic.
Yeah, like the moment they make a better green tome, because Caliburnus, is she fast? I forget if she's fast.
But, no, she's pretty slow. That's why she needed the guaranteed follow-up attack.
Caliburnus then, but Caliburnus isn't that good.
No, I'd personally keep her perf.
I probably would too, personally, but it's not like I want.
And also, she has the benefits of being on Mage Flyer, and I'm sorry, they have like the most broken skills for inheritance, like out of anything.
They do have a lot of good options.
They are real. I feel like they do.
Like all flyers do.
A Mage Flyer, I think, is like low-key peak. I'm not gonna cap.
Real. It's funny, they used to be like one of the worst types.
Yeah, they used to be pretty bad.
Yeah?
Right? Yeah,
but
for
now
a while.
Like, alright, let me turn up. I have Resonance, I got Flared, I have a Cult. Like, even a Cultist, sure, like, even if they have Breath of Life, like the true damage you get from a Cultist is still really good. So,
yeah that's
true. You know what? I can, like, concede her barely avoiding generic only for the fact the armored and cavalry effective things. That is pretty huge. It's half the game, right? So for that, okay, fine. I'll let it slip. But to me, she's like kissing the generic tier. Right? She's like right there. Okay, she's right there. Okay. So the moment they give like some stupid man demote seasonal, like a really good green tome, then like she's running that instead. But until then, she can be in D tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I agree too.
All right, W. Cool.
All right.
I got you, Tellius fans.
Next up is Eliwood. So his weapon, Nini's Ice Lance, which cute name, fun reference and everything. It gives him effectiveness against dragons and beasts, which I don't know if I really care because, especially the beast part, because I don't know if there's too many crazy beasts out there. I guess Eikthrunir and Heithrun.
Heithrun, yeah.
But yeah, what else? He gets a decent amount of stats. What else? Does he have no follow-up in his weapon, or am I thinking something else?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, which is
only offensive.
Okay, it's just offensive. Well, he's probably not going to be enemy facing terribly much. Oh, I think he also gets like dodge, right, in his weapon.
Yes,
40%.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So that's pretty bad, right?
But only if he speeds. I forget how fast he is.
He is not. Actually, he's pretty slow. He's about as fast as Brave Alm. That's actually pretty bad.
That's not good whatsoever.
So we put him in generic then?
I was gonna put him in generic. Like
this is so savage.
He doesn't have slaying. He's got like.
Okay, what's your criteria for being in? Because I feel like everyone in generic, you're like switching out like everything.
Yeah.
Like Eliwood, I don't know if there's a better lance for him. So I think by default,
What's the
he-
one that was before Lewin? Alfred?
Chiang.
Oh wait, that one is not good either.
No,
That
that
one's not
we don't even
great.
talk about that. We're not
But
talking about that.
I mean, is it weird to say that the slang alone might be better than the entirety of Elliot's weapon? Like,
no, I no.
think I might
we're
be a
not-
bit
no,
bold.
I disagree. No, I disagree.
Damn. That's pretty
Like-
crazy.
like okay, hold on. So he's got dodge that he can never use because he's not fast.
Yeah.
And then he's got null follow-up, but offensive null follow-up, but like now you can outsource it and then get the wave skill for him if you really want that.
Right.
And then the alternative is
Well,
effective against dragon.
I was gonna
beast.
say because if you count Max Flowers, he's at 44 speed.
That's still pretty slow.
Yeah,
I don't think. Wait. Hold on.
I don't know
hold on,
about
wait.
that, man.
like they
I
just
lied.
printed
47.
48
I
speed now.
lied. 47 because
Oh.
of the weapon.
What?
And then it's plus 10 after that. So it would be like 57 speed with no A, B, C, or S skills.
Right.
Or merges or summers.
But I feel like some units come out of the box, no merges, no nothing
Yeah,
like that.
90 plus 99 to their speed in combat. Like
Yeah. I don't know. And he's just like he's a cavalry. He's an offensive cavalry unit, right? So
And
those
even
units
that
are
archetype
already
is
like
very
not
hard.
super great.
exactly. Like he doesn't have extra move. He doesn't have
That's fair.
like anything
yeah.
that makes
Goodbye,
him special.
Ellywood.
This is getting
Damn,
so
I almost
savage.
said Ephraim
Join your
because I just hate that man.
damn.
Traumatized me, bro. I just hate his game.
In terms of, yeah, he's just so goddamn slow. I think he's probably worse than Roy. Honestly, Roy.
I wouldn't
well,
say
actually,
that.
Actually, Roy's a
Roy's got
little
effective as
slower. So maybe something like this.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm definitely on top, better than Elliot. So
Really?
yeah, and I just talked mad smack about Alm, so that should be saying
That's
something. Like,
crazy.
that should be.
Yeah.
I just that should be saying
That's
something.
crazy.
Yeah, like I'm just not really impressed with with his weapon. I guess, like the beast thing. Like I don't know. I know Faye always wants to make a beast good. so
and
that's why-
dragons.
Dragons, I've never like. The dragons they make, they are so good that they are good even with the dragon weakness.
That
So
that
it's-
is true. I agree with that.
I don't
so
know
it's-
if I agree
I-
with that.
like Mur is amazing. Like you know,
Yeah,
so
Mur, legendary male Lear.
it's like so. I think it's. I've never. You know, it's hard to say, right? But okay, I can. If Alm is also pretty dog, so like it's. I'm not that.
Yeah, he's just so
you know,
slow. I
that hard
wouldn't
on, like,
I wouldn't be too upset if I saw this. Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah, Satachi.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I heard some
the bottom is always
hesitancy.
hard.
I don't think he's generic, but I lost.
Wow.
The council has decided 2-1, so
I guess he
the
does have
council
dual
has
effectiveness,
decided.
but I feel like he just. Here, what's his attack stat? Let's see. It's probably not that high. It's 37.
50. Oh,
Oh, you're adding the
because I'm
weapon with
including
it.
I'm including the flowers and the weapon.
Oh, so you're looking at max and everything.
No, not max everything, just flowers and weapon. I'm not counting merges or plus attack.
Okay.
Neutral attack at plus 30. Flowers is 59 attack.
What would he be at plus speed?
Plus speed is 47 speed.
Yes.
And then plus attack is 62 attack.
But even at his best, he's still like a 3-move melee calf. Like, are
Yeah,
we
like-
arguing that he's better? Like, the stat line is not the main issue, right? It's the weapon.
That's true.
Weapon-
yeah,
weapon
but I think
is not that
when
good.
we're judging against other generics, I think the stats do kind of matter a bit.
Yeah, true.
So-
But, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Is he? So Satachi, what's your issue here?
If you're gonna put him in generic, I'd personally argue,
Oh, oops.
at the very least, better than Ephraim.
Better than Ephraim?
Yeah, because he's arguing for him to be in D, not in generic. So that's why it's like a bigger point of contention.
I could see him being better than Celica, but Veronica has staff utility, staff, toolkit. Ephraim's a savior unit who can at least body block for something, and then Lynn has a bunch of bows that she can use that are pretty decent, and she can use flared Sparrow.
All right, above Celica. I'll take above Celica then, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's what I kind of feel too. That's the kind of vibe that I feel. So something. So, are we cool with this?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. So next up is Brave Camilla. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think she was ever very good. Like, okay, she was good when she first released for a little bit because, you know, staff flying unit was actually pretty decent in, like, arena and stuff, but her weapon refine was terrible, in my opinion. I thought it was shit. I think straight to generic.
I'm with you. I was gonna put her in generic. Like, offensively, she's not good, and as a support, she's literally just a ranged flyer that that has a staff. So
exactly. So okay, I think
I can die on that hill too.
All right, cool. So then I think she's obviously higher than Ellie would, but then like between her and Veronica, Veronica has cav movement. But then again, flyers are pretty good these days.
You know, I'd put her above Ephraim.
Wow,
dude, I'm sorry. I actually think Ephraim is like bottom 3 COL units. Like, I really think he's garbage. He's so garbage.
Oh my god, bottom 3. That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
We could. Okay, well, I think definitely we can put Camilla above Veronica just because, like, I think flyers are very good and they are continuing to be good as opposed to calves. I still think calves are kind of awkward unless you're like you have 4 move or you're kind of broken, but
that's a good point. Yeah, especially like in arena, for instance, which, you know, greatest game mode of all time. You know, there's so much like terrain against calves that and even some like SD maps.
Yeah, most of the SD maps just hate calves.
Like, yeah. I guess it's a way to balance them because they are like the movement is pretty busted.
Yeah, I always hate the season where they have like, I don't know the name of the map, but it's basically the ones where calves have like free reign. I'm like, oh, just kill me now. Like, I hate those seasons. Like,
yeah, those ones can be pretty painful.
Yeah.
Unless you're running your own calf line.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, so much fun today. Like, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that probably covers the end of the generics, the end of that saga, which has been a bit depressing, but
it's been very depressing.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, if any of these are your favorite units, we don't mean to, you know, dog on them or anything, but we just need to, like, looking at it from a more objective way. Oh my god.
Satachi intends with all intention to dog on Ephraim.
Okay.
I genuinely don't think he's that bad. Like, okay, no, he's bad, but he's better than the ones we have below him. I genuinely believe that. Okay, we'll discuss that later, maybe.
Yeah, we'll discuss that.
I think we gotta keep moving on. We're like almost an hour in. We haven't gotten to any good units yet. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay, so next up is Brave Dimitri. This guy went from 0 to hero pretty quickly with his weapon refine, which was pretty good. It gave him, which at the time was quite unheard of, flat damage reduction based off his defense.
I think he was the first, right? Yeah, he was the first.
He was
the second. Maria was the first.
Right?
Yeah, Maria was the first, and
didn't Duo Asker come out beforehand though?
Because these guys get refined in September, and then Asker was in New Year's, right? So, but I guess it depends on the year. It doesn't really matter.
I forgot. I completely forgot. But yeah. It was Maria first, I think. Yeah.
Right.
So
something like that. Either way, he was one of the first. But at this point, it's pretty common. Okay, maybe not terribly common, but you expect the good units to have this in some way.
It's on skills. It's very. Yeah, I think it's pretty common now.
So, but that being said, he could stack, you know, flat DR himself with Lagu's friend 4. So he can stack up a decent amount. But I find that personally he is not as good of an Omni tank as he used to be. You know, as much flat DR as there's just so much damage out there. But he is usable. You give him like Breath of Life 4, you know, bonus doubler 4, Lagu's friend 4. He can still work. But he's definitely not someone you field in like summoner duels. I don't know if you even want to have him in AR Oh, maybe if you know. I think,
You actually do. Yeah, no, he's good in ARO.
Okay.
Actually.
so.
Yeah.
So I think B. I would personally probably put him in B.
I am also gonna say B. I think he's like a true neutral character. Like actually.
I kind of think so
Yeah.
too. But what about you,
Like-
ENEMii?
Like at minimum, I would say one whole separate tier in between Hector and Dimitri. So I'm happy to put him that high. It's more contingent on what it looks like everything above him. Like that is probably where
Right.
we might decide to move him. But at minimum, I think he's like a very much league or tier separate from Hector. And even
Right.
with
Yeah, I
Rex,
feel so too.
I'm happy him there.
Okay, cool. And he's kind of a fun unit to like build, you know, like
Yeah, he's
every
so
time there's some new like broken skill, like you can slap it on him and it works, you know.
Yeah, like people
Yeah.
are talking about Gust with him, right? Or-
Yeah. Well, oh gosh.
Well, I
his
don't know.
speed builds aren't great
He doesn't
now.
want it, but it's like any Omni tank. I was just saying, like any Omni tank thing, you just think of him because he can run it. So it's
Yeah,
always a
I
lot
guess
of
he
fun.
could kind of speed stack, but his starting speed is not great at 36.
I actually don't think you should speed stack.
No,
personally
not
don't think
anymore.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just slap Aegis now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think B is fair for him. All right. So next up is Brave Edelgard, who came out
my
really
God.
good. Probably one of the best units. You know, as an armor unit, obviously she could just fly around, plus extra movement, order status on herself. So yeah, obviously.
Alright.
Armor unit here, and also her weapon refine was pretty dang good. It's basically they took Brave Ephraim's weapon and it's like, all right, let's actually make this shit fucking good, okay, guys, come on. So
How to actually make an armored axe, anyways.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
All right.
So
I think
think
I personally think she'd be the best of A tier. I don't think she's S tier anymore, but I think she's like the gatekeeper
Yeah.
of A tier.
I think she's definitely a separate tier from Dimitri. Like whether that speaks to her being good or him being bad depends. But I definitely don't think they're in the same tier.
Definitely not. I think
But-
she's like the top of A.
But I would like not to spoil, but I'm almost trying to imagine everything above.
Oh, spoilers!
no,
but,
it's
like,
cool, it's cool, it's fine, it's cool.
It's like I wonder if she like I don't know if she would share the same tier as the above people, but I don't think she would share the same as Dimitri. So it's like I don't know if I don't want to make her like A- or something, or we can see as like the future come in.
Yeah.
Oh wow, A-. Wait, so Satachi, you're almost like arguing A+.
We can
Yeah.
see we can see how.
But I also agree. I mean, we can like see.
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's fair.
For now,
it looks like
I'm happy
later.
to put her in A. Right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and also she's definitely going to be benefiting from shield fighter as well. I mean, her B skill is already pretty decent in my opinion, but
Yeah, you could still use.
yeah,
red
it still
blood.
works. Like, it's not
so
the greatest,
insane
but
to
it
think
can
about.
work. Yeah. Unlike,
Yeah.
Blue Lion rules, which, I mean, that also can work, but I'm not using that over Lagoose Friend for. You kidding me?
Definitely not. Definitely
Yeah.
not.
So
Yeah, I really think Edelgard's definitely a tier above Dimitri. Whether she's going to be top of A, mid A, or bottom A, we shall see. But I think it's almost definitive A. Definitely not S. Probably not S, but A is, I think it's a good place for her. She's definitely one of the better near saves in the game still, honestly. So yeah. Are we done with Edelgard for now?
I think we're good.
I know we have a certified Edelgard fan, Edelgard connoisseur, if you will.
Yeah,
that's
an
me.
enthusiast,
What
if
can
you
I
may.
Yeah, exactly. So I was okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure I let him, say everything he wanted before we moved on. Okay, so next up is Claude. He when he first came out was pretty. He was probably the best. Well, okay, no, he and Edelgard were like king and queen of CYL 4. He was pretty good with like close foil at the time and Ether Raid's offense with just omni tanking with his healing and whatnot, innate healing, which is pretty cool at the time. And it did a decent amount of healing, but then deep wounds fucked him in the face like pretty bad. And I know it says like reduce the effect of deep wounds by 60%. That's still a lot that he's not going to be healing up,
Yeah.
And also, I just don't think this guy is very good. his weapon refine was not terribly impressive when it came out, and it's definitely not good now.
I'm putting him in generic.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so when you guys said when you guys said, "Oh, I think we're done with the generics," I was like, I'm not done. I think he's going in generic. Okay, I think he is not good. Okay, so let me plead my case. Right.
All right.
I'm pulling up his weapon now. He gets +5 to stats. Who cares? He gets healing from 50%. But first of all, we already swim in Breath of Life and Haithrin, and healing is just incredibly common. I would not run him on his ability to heal, and even then, negating the deep wounds. I don't care about deep wounds whether you negate it or inflict it, because nobody hardly runs deep wounds anyway, especially when you have Haithrin, who can just ignore that completely, right? She stops deep wounds.
Right,
so, his first half of the weapon, to me, is completely useless. Does nothing. Does nothing of significance. And then he gets offensive null follow-up, he nulls guard, and then he has DR, 30% DR. But it's not even Brave DR. It's just one-hit DR.
Yeah, and it's pierceable.
So, at that point, to me, in my mind, you are running him for the ability to have offensive null follow-up, null guard, and that's it. Why would you run this guy? I think he's bad. I think he's not good whatsoever. And he's a bow user, meaning he's way better with other bows that aren't his own. That's why I think he's generic. I just can't see a single good reason to run him.
Damn. Now that you say that, I kind of agree.
That's why I think he's generic. It was very harsh. But I mean, I did not like him.
I think he does have some niche uses, because I unironically have seen him in things yeah, you're right. In AR, no, his whole weapon's dead.
Yeah, it really is.
Astra season, you're screwed. Yeah. So, unironically, only for SDS have I ever actually rarely seen this creature.
SDS?
Why did I say creature? This Claude? Yeah, because what they would do is that they would just ban your Haithrin and be like, oh, hopefully they don't ban my Claude. And then I've seen a few Omni-Tank Claude builds, very few.
Really?
It can screw you over if you're not ready for it, but
that sounds like a lot of setup
brain
was
cell.
required.
Yeah, and then if you have half a brain cell, you know how to deal with it. So yeah.
Well, looks like I'm screwed then. So
no, you're fine.
Okay, I could see. So Satachi, are you arguing that he's more of a D or a C then?
I think very, very bottom of D.
Bottom of D? You think he's worse than Micaiah?
At least Micaiah can debuff people and have faux penalty doubler, because you can inflict debuffs mid-turn and have dual effectiveness.
Yeah, the effectiveness, I think, makes her better than by far.
And a mage flyer is just broken.
Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, just being flyer is just good. I'm almost kind of convinced we should put Micaiah up a little bit now that you say that.
Whoa, let's not get too let's not get horses and
whoa.
Okay, all right.
Let's get too carried away here. No, I'm just playing. I mean, yeah, depending on how much you don't like Hector, I think it's fine to put her above. Because it's kind of awkward. We have nothing in C. It'll probably make more sense once we pan everything else out.
Yeah, we got more to tear down.
But yeah, I guess the question now is generic or D for Claude, and I've been team generic, so.
All right, what about you, Rocket Gal?
I feel like he'd probably just from an anecdote, it does sound like you can make him work even in the highest level of play, which is Summoner Duels.
Yeah, but are you using his weapon?
Yeah, was he using?
No, yeah, you would use his weapon if you were to use him. The only times I've seen him, I mean, his whole use even back then was him just tanking everything, even melee units with close foil. Now he has close bonus doubler, which is really good.
I don't think he can get that, right? Because he's a flying unit.
Damn, he sucks. No. Never mind. Put his ass in generic.
Damn. Okay, well,
what is he gonna tank now? Even his normal DR is pierceable.
Okay, no. Even with close foil, I think it's still fine. But I don't know. It's really up to y'all, I guess, at this point. It just hurts. me looking at him in the same tier as like Brave Ephraim. Okay. Brave.
The Ephraim dogging never ends.
I'm gonna get so much hate. Oh my god, they're gonna be like, "Well, Satachi, you were very nice this whole video." Then they'll hear everything bad I said about Ephraim and be like, "Wow, you suck actually."
What? Nah, that's all good. I think I might keep him at bottom of D. He is also flirting with generic. But his weapon is, yeah, it's really not good. But comparing that with some other bows, I could see that. I think he is borderline in generic, but I think he is just a step above like Lin. But Lin is cavalry.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Something just feels wrong. Something just feels wrong looking at Claude. And
if there was like a D minus, then we can put Claude there. But since we don't have one, we can put him in D. We can put him in D.
I guess, yeah, just bottom of D for now then. If Prom is watching this, I know she's like, you know, putting us all in the death notes. So
hey, yo, we didn't make Claude. We didn't make Claude. What do you want?
Yeah, we're not the designers, you know. We're just here to behold the art.
Yeah, I would have given him slang -3 or whatever, you know. But yeah.
Damn. Would that actually make him good though? You think?
No, it probably.
It probably make him like a C.
Okay, slang 3, yeah, because then he could like run like AOE's.
But he can already give him. Oh, okay, actually, yeah.
Okay, maybe that'd make him a B then.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
And even if units don't have true damage for AOE's are just that broken.
They are. Yeah, they really
that
are.
It'll just still work.
I actually don't think they're broken now because we swim in Breath of Life.
I don't think it killed Breath of Life because at least it has like a cap.
And if Fatal Smoke 4 is still out there, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they keep making good C skills like Creation Pulse now, and I think it's competitive.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like Creation Pulse a lot, but I'm also a big fan of the, I guess, like Times Pulse family, so I guess it kind of depends. I think AoEs are very, very, very tough. I'm not high on them now, because I used to be super high on them. Now I think it's very, very hard for...
I disagree.
Because you can even have, like, imagine a Breath of Life user and Hathran and, like, it's just, I think it's very tricky. But yeah,
gotcha.
I guess it depends.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, we'll leave him there.
Okay, yeah. All right. Sounds good. All right. Last one of CYL 4 is Lysithea. Lysithea is an interesting unit. She has Dark Spike Tau, which gives her cavalry effectiveness. Not like it's that hard to nuke cavalry units, but yeah, she also gives herself like the orders status that helps her warp around and stuff. She actually gets slaying in her weapon from the refine. That's actually pretty decent. And then she's able to get like the blade effect in her weapon. So she's not terrible. She also makes
desperation.
Oh yeah. She get desperation, which like I know there's like hardy bearing, but like you know only one unit gets hardy bearing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So and you know there are actually there's not many, but there are a few like cavalry omni tanks out there. I'm thinking primarily of like legendary Seliph, that she could probably take out.
110%, yeah.
Right. So
I think she's in B tier.
B.
Really?
Ooh.
That's very high.
Because I think she's really good. She's actually one of the users that like she's one of the best users of Resonance, like just hands down.
Really?
All of her like problems like got fixed with Resonance alone. Like actually she has DR piercing. Remember she has desperation. She's got
she already had
charge.
She already had DR piercing because she's infantry, so she can already run all the other stuff.
Yeah, well now you don't have to. Now you gotta free up B slot and you can give her like again just Resonance.
But like what else would you even
orders
put in a B slot instead?
You could go occultist for like another like layer of true damage.
Yeah, I can see that. I think she benefits.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. There's been times in Summoner Duels my Byleth lost her. So yeah.
Which Byleth is this one?
Winter
Byleth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, she actually hits ridiculously hard for no reason.
Doesn't Winter Byleth have Scowl? Oh wait, with desperation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why it's. I like her a lot because of the desperation. Like, if you asked me this question right before Brave Bernie, I definitely would have put her higher. but now desperation is not like unique to her.
That's
even the
true, yeah.
self-chipping, like now everyone self-chips with Brave Bernie, and then even Sonya, rearmed Sonya was self-chipping before. So like she's very good by virtue of being an infantry mage, because in general they're very strong. But relative to everyone else, I don't think she's like that.
I'd put her in B. I think she's really
I think B might. I mean, you're gonna put him with like Dimitri, still a decent Omni tank. Like, would you?
I think Lysithea is still a decent nuke.
Okay.
As someone that also super uses her and like whatnot, and that also got owned by one. So, yeah.
Obviously, she's an S tier because I can only lose the S tier units. God damn it.
Yeah, I can see reasons for her being good.
I don't think she'll be high B tier. I'll be honest with you, but I think she'll be in B tier.
I'm pretty. I think she like C tier is like calling her name. That's how I feel. But you know.
Yeah, I kind of also feel C tier a little bit, just because there are a lot better nukes out there than her. And the desperation is pretty good though, because usually things that counter like multiple hits at once is like anti-braving, but not as much as like anti-desperation as much. The only thing it really is like hardy bearing, but again, that's only one unit.
Yeah, and I know like Brave Bernie exists and like Ursula, but that's what makes her good. I like her being self-sufficient with desperation is insane. And again, with charge per hit. So, yeah. That's
but like, are
really
we comparing her against other infantry mages in the game? Like, or is it just relative to everyone else in CYL?
Against like every unit in general.
Then I just think it's very hard to.
No, I'd still put it in B.
Because like we have crazy infantry nukes. Like, would you rather run her over like Desert Igreen? Like, probably not. Like,
no, but that wouldn't make her B and C. I'd just pick the S tier instead of the B tier.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I think.
Just because someone's better doesn't mean that someone's automatically trash.
True, but I just think it's very hard to demand like her worth on a team slot with what she brings to the table. And other than being a good nuke, which we have so many of, I just think it's
That's true. Yeah, nowadays people are like nukes, but also like provide a lot of support these days. I mean, I'm thinking even like Nithavolir, who has some support with Hexblade and
the special cooldown.
Yeah, so that's a fair point. Where she is just a nuke, a pretty decent nuke, but that's all she kind of does. I think I kind of agree with ENEMii there. I think I'm going to keep her in C for now. She's I'd say she's like high C, mid to high C, personally. But again, things are subject to move, but I think C is a good spot for her. I still just think she's a step below Dimitri. Yeah, I think that's personally how it's going to be for now. All right.
We can see later on.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
We'll see. There's going to be adjustments probably. So let's keep going. Next up is Gatekeeper. I personally don't have a lot of good to talk about him because I personally am not the biggest fan of him. I think his weapon refine was not that great, which is why to this day I still don't even have his weapon refine. I feel like his main usage in like high level competitive games is the anti-warping, which is pretty good. It is extremely good, especially since it's not like cancelable necessarily except by pass. Like you can't steal warp bubble away kind of situation. Like you can't steal this is his kind of. And he also does have a little bit of support, but I don't think it's like really breaking the bank. But
I think he defaults to B just because of his anti-warping, but nothing else.
I kind of think so too, because like he, as a combat unit, he's like generic. As a support unit, he's like.
I'd put him under generic if it was combat. It would be like send home.
Oh my god! Give me the feathers and get the fuck out.
You know, but like because of his anti-warping, that's just passive, like built in.
Right, and warping is just so fucking good these days.
You kind of just have to put it in B just because of
I kind of feel the same way, but yeah, I agree. But ENEMii, what do you? How do you feel?
I like him a lot. I actually like. I could even see him. I see him above Dimitri. I don't know if that's.
All right, get out of here.
Okay. Here's the thing, right? I think there is no better time to stop warping than now. And not only that, he does it. He blocks the melee. Like even High Dragon Wall does not do that, right? And who do we have? Like the Felix with the Celica ring, right? So it's
anyone with Celica ring, yeah.
Right. So
yeah, but he also moves like 6 spaces in one turn.
True. So he's Felix is good for different reasons, but I still think
we'll get the Felix down the line.
And we got more units with pass builds in that are decent nukes.
Do we? It's not
it's
terribly
just
many.
Shez
There's Celica and
right?
Shez. Those are the only ones I can really think of. Male Shez.
Like, if you look at the amount of things that bypass warp, which is just those two, versus the amount of things that can warp, which is literally everyone with Celica ring, I think overall, collectively, anti-warping is more valuable, right? Whether or not it stays that way, I think it will depend, because if they have a better way to block warping than something like Dragon Wall, or I don't know what they'll make in the future, right?
Sure, but Gatekeeper is harder to slot in nowadays.
I kind of
He
agree.
really is.
He really doesn't
he
do
really,
anything.
really is.
Yeah,
And,
he's
like,
only support.
I feel like if he goes against like a Dogger, like, you know, Congolite team, he really doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he does fold.
He's really a counter pick. He's not like he's good.
Like a tech,
he's
right?
really good against certain teams, and then really dog shit in certain teams. I feel like in that regard, we have to put him like very neutral, which is probably low B, high C, maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I would still put him above Dimitri by virtue of him being not only excellent, but uniquely excellent in at least some situations, as opposed to Dimitri and Lysithea being good, but never like outstanding in any situation. But if you're looking at the aggregate,
Fair point.
then yeah, you can put him lower. But
and then here's another thing too.
Yeah.
I never thought it was a good idea to always rely on warping. So if you just see a Gatekeeper and you're like, oh, I guess I'll surrender, then like I feel like that's on you at that point.
That's a fair point.
Like, unlike Breath of Life, where it's like, yeah, because I spoke about this with some people, but like Breath of Life, as amazing as it is, it also is low-key kind of hard to slot into, because think of how many support skills are in the C, like, you know.
Is what? You got Canto Control.
There's like a lot. There's Canto Control.
But Breath of Life is not locked to just infantry. That's why I think it's
right.
Yeah,
I think
but still, because like a lot of the meta units, even meta support units, they have their C slot filled up, you know. So most of the time, you kind of normally want it on like Ether 8's defense maps, if again you can slot it in, or just for raid bosses.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, I put Dimitri over Gatekeeper, because Gatekeeper's just really hard to slot in.
Yeah, it's true, because he's really just a counter pick.
And then remember, it's Gatekeeper, so you're really just bringing him for the detailed report. That's it.
That's honestly true.
So, yeah.
I still think he's above those two just for the sakes he's like uniquely exceptional, but I can concede him being lower because obviously like he's not good on most situations. So
right, yeah. I think I'll just keep him in B for now. Whether I keep him above or below Dimitri, I guess we'll see how the rest of it pans out. I guess I've been saying about everyone really, but it's true, man. It's true.
You have to put everyone out, right? Yeah,
right, exactly. So I guess I'll just keep him there for now. Still a pretty decent unit, but only, in my opinion, just decent. And really just a counter unit, which can be good, like extremely good, but can also just be really bad. So, and I guess that's a definition of a counter unit. Alright, next up is Brave Marianne, who's actually a pretty interesting, unique unit as well. She has her Requiem Dance, which allows her to essentially refresh another unit on her team, which is pretty interesting. And then her Weapon Refine, I believe she has like half DR piercing in it.
Yeah.
She has Null Guard. She gets some stats. And she does some extra damage based off of her speed. but like that's kind of it. It's a somewhat tame weapon, but her being able to refresh someone is pretty cool. It's really good on Gale Force teams like Ether Raid's offense. Like
it's so good.
She could still be used. And that
1 million. I still think she's a really high tier or top tier like follow up Gale Forcer. She's really freaking stupid.
But like, do you think she could really pierce like some of the top Far Saviors? Like maybe not top like Fjorm, because that's almost a little too unfair because no one can pierce her. But maybe someone like Winter Byleth. How do you think?
Yeah, mine's got owned by it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember like what her build was?
No. But
Okay.
I got owned and I was
Okay,
like, oh,
gotcha.
I'm never underestimating this unit again.
Okay, that's fair.
Um.
I would put her above Dimitri. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
I'd put her above Dimitri.
I really do like her special. Like that is something kind of similar to the Gatekeeper point. Like it's not only exceptional in that situation, but it's uniquely exceptional to her. Like no one else can refresh with a special. And she's not Gatekeeper bad in combat. Like she's not,
No,
wonderful,
she's
but
pretty
she's not
decent.
horrible. And for that alone, I like her better than Dimitri, who is and was good, but is only trending downwards and is not.
Yeah,
unique.
that's true.
So, as if on a crazy day, you might even like see me put her in A, but I guess depends on what A looks like.
I almost put her in A. I'm not gonna cap.
Really? But is it?
Yeah, I think she's really good. I think she's either. No, I'm not gonna look at spoilers.
Now let's put her on top of B, because I think the jump to A is hard. It's a
Yeah,
hard
I
ask
kinda think
now,
so
and it
too.
will be a harder ask when we slot
Yeah.
everyone else. So,
Yeah.
but she's very good. She's definitely uniquely good, which is crazy because she's always been the sleeper hit, like since
That is
she
true.
came
Yeah,
out
she's
and-
always
and
been an
this day,
underdog.
right?
Like,
So-
I feel like a lot of people do underestimate her. Meep. But like, she is really good. If you don't like prepare for her properly, and if you build her up like really well, good team around her, she is actually kind of a monster.
Yeah.
Quite literally. Well, no, actually, no, not really.
Oh wow,
No,
the
fuck,
beast
no.
caress. The beast caress. Bro, it's so funny.
All right, yeah. So I think top of B is probably fair for her. She's flirting with A little bit, but it's like, we'll see. But I think she might be a bottom A, but I think top B I am more comfortable with for now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Next up is Brave Marth. He was an interesting unit for a little bit. He has his Vantage situation, which is pretty decent still. He's got effectiveness against dragons. God, his weapon is such a fucking essay.
Yeah.
What
He needs
else?
the allies, and he needs a whole bunch of stuff. But
Oh yeah, he needs. That's the thing. He needs to be close to his allies. You know, I fight for my friends, but
yeah. Main protag energy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. So he has anti-guard. It looks like he gets a decent amount of stats. He's kind of a stat ballish kind of unit, right? Because his unique special, what was it? Emblem something. Shining Emblem gives him +6 to everything, which is pretty all right, but not unheard of these days, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Shining Emblem is whatever. His weapon. I think his main draw to him is his Vantage, which is something that sometimes is good, sometimes it's very bad. It's tough to say. He's kind of a hard unit to rate as well. I don't know. I feel like he might be a B as well. I don't see him as
think
A.
he is B.
I
don't see him as A either.
I was actually gonna put him in C, to be honest.
Whoa.
But the reason why is specifically Brave Bernadetta. Like, if you can make everyone a Vantage unit, then what makes him even worth
special?
thinking
Yeah,
about?
that's true.
And keep in mind, even Bernadetta, which we can talk about later, you may not like her or love her for various different reasons. So that's assuming her best case scenario is still making Marth worse. So it's if you don't like Bernadetta for what she can provide,
Worse or not as special?
not as special. If you don't like Bernadetta for what she can provide, then you most definitely don't like Marth for the similar reasons, right?
Okay, here's a super fringe case where I think Marth might be better than having Bernadetta support. So Bernadetta support with Paranoia doesn't actually work with saviors. As I found out the hard way. And if you pair up Soren with Marth, which I wouldn't recommend, probably wouldn't recommend, but you could try this. He could get his Vantage off as a savior, similar to like his Winter ult, and that is value, you know, like an untouchable savior, which like not based off of stats, but just based off of I kill you first, could be pretty interesting at the very least.
Also, his value kind of went up because of Jimbro, because now like +6 to all your stats is like not necessarily the max anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. And
so
so it's easier. It might be easier to like get his like all his conditions for like all his his
and
stuff.
He's definitely gonna run distant bonus doublers, so that's like what 9.
Yeah, that might be a lot of stats.
9
it's a stat ball.
So like 18 just from like the attack stat alone from just the A skill. That's kind of a lot.
It's
and then he gets like another +5 or like 8 from his like weapon too. So that's like a lot.
Right.
I still think he's a C, just by virtue of like competition, and even at his best, he's less unique. Sorry, he's much less unique now than basically like any competent melee unit. So I don't know. I just can't really see a situation where he's like exceptionally good for the things that he uniquely provides, which I just don't really see it. But he's, you know, he can still do work. He's got cool stuff. He's, you know, I can concede B. But if I'm like feeling extra harsh, then I would put him in C.
Gotcha. I personally think he's probably bottom of B, just because Vantage is a legitimate strategy that could wall off entire teams. But it does require a lot of setup, and it does require, you know, the team not having a Nurgle probably, because that guy, you know, but that guy shuts down a lot of people, so it's not like it's uniquely like killing Marth kind of situation. I think, I could see him flirting with C. I think I might keep him at the bottom of B for now. Again, this is...
I'd say, yeah.
Again, at the end, we'll probably make some adjustments to make it more of a bell-shaped curve, you know, aside from generics. So I think just from the virtue of his Vantage... Like, if he didn't have the Vantage, I probably would have put him in D, maybe. But I think the Vantage thing could...
Saves him.
Like, with a very skilled... In the hands of a very skilled player with the proper setup, but he could be pretty terrifying. But you could also say that about a lot of units. So, I think B is good for now.
Let's put him there.
Okay, so let's go to Brave Erica. So she was like at the time considered the best CYL unit when she first came out. And honestly, terrifying. I kind of don't think she's that good anymore. I mean, she's got dual effectiveness. She's a cav. What else she gets? She gets a decent amount of stats from her weapon. She has 40% DR, pierceable, of course. She's got no follow-up. Wait. Okay, I think it's just offensive no follow-up from what I could tell.
Yeah, it's offensive.
And then she's got like this lull thing, I think. Yeah, she's got... It's like similar to a lull effect, or I guess dull, where it's like neutralizing her foes' attack speed and defense, which is is nice. Well, I guess she does have no follow-up. It's just that in the text it's like split up. It's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's so weird.
That is okay. That's so fucking stupid. But yeah, okay. So essentially, she does have like full follow-up or no follow-up, but you know, that's so easily outsourceable these days that I'm not giving her too much points on that. Honestly, I think she might be a D unit.
Oh, whoa. I'm actually...
You know it's about when ENEMii is like, whoa.
I actually think she's higher than that. Like, I was debating even B for her.
Really?
Oh, I was going to say C.
I really thought she was bad. Like, the reason why I didn't make a unit spotlight of her, like, when she first got a refine was because she was losing so many matches that I was like, I can't do this. She's going to look so bad, honestly. But ENEMii, like, I'm curious what you had to say.
In my perfect world, we would have Marth in C and then her with Marth. But if we're putting Marth in B, then I think she'd be high up. But actually, when I think about it a bit, I think she's happy in C. The reason why is because if we're putting Micaiah up a tier above like generics because Micaiah has dual effectiveness, then I think we should put Erica above higher for having dual effectiveness. And I think she's considerably better than Micaiah.
I said dual effectiveness and being a flying mage.
But being a flying mage is like, true. But I also the Canto 2 on which most things nowadays have Canto 1. Like obviously the top tier stuff have Canto like whatever distant 5, 17, right? So I'm not saying that like more than 2 automatically makes you good, but she is unique in the sense that she doesn't need to rely on outsourced Canto, and even if she did, she's got her own better Canto 2. That plus dual effectiveness, I think it saves her from D. That's my opinion.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I think D is actually... D are units that are flirting with generic. She is definitely not flirting with generic. I think her weapon's still probably better than Lewin in most regards. And if she uses a Lewin, she can't use Moonlight Bangle, and Moonlight Bangle gives her
Canto, right?
Gives her anti-guard, right?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. You definitely want to keep her stuff.
Yeah. So I think bottom of C I'm comfortable with.
Is she under Lysithea though?
I kind of think so. I think Lysithea. She's also got effectiveness, just one effectiveness. But I don't know actually. As an infantry unit too, she gets infantry blessings as well. Infantry skills are still pretty decent.
Yeah, better than Cav skills. If Cav skills were slightly better, then I would argue Erica above Lysithea for the Canto 2 alone. But just by virtue of being a Cav, and like, I would put her under Lysithea.
Okay, cool. I feel like that's the unit we've like argued the least about.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So
this is going to be the unit we all argue least about.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's honestly like I love Erica. You know, she's the protagonist of my second Fire Emblem game, but this is pretty bad. Like,
I love her art too. I really love her art.
So good, but
the next one's already going to break a record of not arguing at all.
Okay, so let's move on to Brave Crom. Brave Crom is pretty interesting. He definitely is a unit who benefits from a lot of bonus statuses on himself. He gets uncapped like extra stats based off the bonus effects that he gets, which he can copy with his what was it, to change fate? Fate change. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, fate change.
Which is
to rename it.
Cute little corny name. And then apart like not just are the stats like impressive. He does every status effect from whoever he assisted. That's like bar none everything, which includes things like extra movement and Pathfinder, which puts him firmly in Pathfinder teams. Especially Pathfinder teams that don't rely on the dagger button, ones that are like normal dagger,
right?
wind tribe dagger. And not only that, his refine, while it was pretty tame, it basically made him like go from good to just better. I'm not gonna say he's like insane nowadays, but like it just makes him better, and it probably makes him a little more reliant on or reliable in killing things. So I think an A is probably pretty comfortable for him. I don't think S because I think apart from that niche, he's not as good, which hurts me because he's my favorite of this batch. But I really
Wait, you don't think he's S?
You guys think he's S?
I think he's S.
Oh,
he's like top 3. Okay, maybe not.
But top 3.
Whoa.
You guys want to know something crazy?
Okay. Let me say that. Let me roll that back. I don't think he's top 3, but he's definitely S. I feel like.
Really?
Not even close.
You want to know something crazy?
Like, not even close.
I don't think he's S. I think he's S plus.
Wait, what?
Okay.
I think he's insane.
I wouldn't go that far, but no,
Whoa,
he's S.
Yeah,
the action.
I think he's insane. Okay.
The action eco's crazy. Bro gets like 50 stats.
He is essentially.
He's literally top tier in like every game mode.
He opens
yeah.
up the fact that he can have any effect that are normally cavalry locked. He can just pick it up, right?
That is
real.
true, yeah.
And
Like, genuinely, the only thing that he literally just like missed was having like tempo. If he had tempo, oh my
god, yeah, tempo
Yeah.
would have been
Oh
insane.
my god.
but just wait until the day
Yeah,
being
yeah,
at
no, I
the
was
tempo
just gonna say
status.
that,
Then bam, he'll just pick it up,
Oh
right?
my god.
Honestly, okay, we can talk about this more as we rank everyone else, but not only do I think he's S+, this is my #1 best Brave unit in the game.
Whoa, whoa,
I think he's
really?
that crazy. Yeah.
Damn.
I think I think he will.
I don't know. Maybe to me, I don't think that's a hot take either. Low-key, like
Seriously? You guys think so?
he's so stupid. Oh my god. Or at the very least, he's by far the most flexible CYL unit. At the very
That is
least,
true.
I
He is very
feel
flexible.
I don't even think he belongs in S. I think he belongs in S+. He's definitely.
I wouldn't make that big of a gap.
I genuinely think
he's
S+.
so insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn it. I guess I got the wrong read. I feel like I was the usually optimistic one, but damn, like,
Yeah.
ENEMii
it's
like
kinda
going
funny.
crazy.
Rare occurrence of
Damn.
enemy being
I love
optimistic.
it.
Normally,
That's
I'm
crazy.
not that crazy about a certain unit, but like, guys, like if I made a video on Brave units, you would see me put this guy on the top and like rant and yada yada. Like, I think
Spoilers,
he's
dude.
well, we can see in a year. We'll see in a year, you know.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think he's amazing for the action eco, the ability, anything any character in this game can do. He can just pick it up. He's flexible. He's not only good now, he will age later. He's also unique, exceptionally unique, and that's something that no one else in the game can do. All of these things, to me, it screams like a good unit.
That's fair. That is true. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I think I just said what I said because I was slightly disappointed in his refine, which really didn't do much for him. Because sometimes some of those status effects that he would give himself, you could outsource from like Legendary Camilla, for instance, with the DR piercing. And then neutralizes foes bonuses. Surely someone out there had that. I don't remember off the top of my head. And the bonus damage is capped at 16, which, okay, 16 is still a decent amount, but it's not like, I'm not gonna like go crazy over it. And I guess he does get some extra stats, like even more extra stats, like plus 5 extra on top of the already more, like a lot of stats that he's getting. But I just,
because that one is not capped, right? The one he gets, he has an uncapped
right, yeah,
one
it is uncapped.
on
So
that.
I've seen some crazy things where it's like plus 99. I'm like, okay, guys, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, it's like, the funny thing is you mentioned being disappointed by his refine, but the craziest part is that even if he never got a refine, I think he's still better than everyone with the refine. Like,
It's funny.
Jesus.
I think he got the. It's funny because I think he got the best refine out of it.
Really?
I didn't even
did.
bother
Well,
read
okay,
his
actually, I
refine
kind of
because
agree
I
with
was
that too. But I mean, all right. I mean, no, not trying to spoil anything, but the CYL 6 refines have not been like the hottest things out
Crazy.
there, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess I can
think
kind of
it's
agree with that too. Yeah. Okay, so we got our first S. I guess, yeah, I can agree with that.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah,
Plus
yeah,
later,
yeah.
if I had it
we
my
can be
way, it's S
positive, guys.
plus. But yeah, you know. We'll see.
He could be the top of S for at least for
Yeah,
now.
well, top of S. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Let's go.
All
Okay.
right. So next up is Brave Tiki. Brave
I'm
Tiki
gonna get hate.
is she's pretty interesting.
He didn't even wait.
She was the first unit who introduced Scowl essentially to the game, which is honestly still a really good effect. It blocks off powerhouses that rely on their specials, like Emblem Ike, for instance. But that feels like that's like her main thing. She's a very slow unit that relies on guaranteed follow-up attack, which is not good because NFU is just everywhere. And her weapon refine is interesting, but it did not seem to fix her that much. It gave her a distant counter, which I think a lot of people have argued that it took up a lot of the refined budget, as Oblivion likes to call it. So then she only really gets 2 other effects afterwards. She gets resistance base. Was it resistance based DR or something?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and then she gets 50% DR piercing, and that's kind of like the new stuff she gets. And then her beast skill, which her bridal version also has, is essentially just like Dragon Wall, right? Kind of, but like with extra steps.
Yeah, it's like Dragon Wall.
Not even the good
follow-up
Dragon
denial,
Balls.
which is
Right.
like not even like a real effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
An attack res -5. That's really it.
Right. So, she.
I'm
Okay.
gonna get hate, yo.
Let's hear it, Satachi.
All right, let's go.
I'm being generous when I say this. I think she's bottom of C. That's me being generous.
I don't disagree, actually, to be honest.
Okay, that's me being generous. All right, let me explain why, chat, before I get the pitchfork,
Chat.
before I accidentally like ruin Rocket Gal's sub count. I'm sorry. Now I know the #1 thing that you're gonna say is, "Oh my God, 20% DR based on your res. That's so crazy." All right, we've seen this time and time again, where if you just have flat DR on its own, it's not that great.
Right. Yeah. Like the amount.
Let me give you an example. I right now just went to the Fey unit builder, and Max Flowers, summoner supported, she has 54 res. 20% of that, you're only gonna reduce 10 damage.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And she's really hard to give like dodge because one, she's not fast. She has 36 speed, like max everything. I don't know why you'd still run her B slot. Sure, I guess. I mean, you can run high Dragon Wall, but you know, half of that is gonna get, at the very least, is gonna be like reduced because most things they either have full piercing or, which has been happening more lately, it's 50% DR piercing. We have been seeing a lot more 50% piercing rather than complete like full DR like canceling, you know? So that would be like what, 20% DR, and then you're gonna reduce it by like 10. I don't think it's that great. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm actually with you for different reasons. Like you mentioned the flat DR point. Well, Felix is, first of all, I think like the first key example where you can start to now survive on flat DR alone. Like I think he doesn't have percent, right? He's just flat, but he's still bulky, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But actually, because of him, I think that it is signaling eventually we will see some sort of counter to flat DR, assuming they keep printing. Because like flat DR is everywhere now. You've got it on Excel, you've got it on so many things, and I think eventually, like maybe not soon, but eventually we'll get a counter to even flat DR. So that's why I really don't think Tiki is good, even with the DR. And then the thing that makes her special is Scowl, but that too has not only been less unique the moment she came out, but I foresee Scowl eventually being put on everyone. Like we just saw it on the Pulse, and like, you know, even though it's only for daggers, give it some time, they're gonna open it up to non-dragging units. Like everyone, even now, like, you know, they on their PRFs, but eventually they're gonna put it on a skill that everyone can have. Yeah, everyone's got Scowl because everyone's got special jumping, so they need to combat that. Yeah, and the moment they do, you're never running Tiki.
And also, Felix has both percentage both? DR and flat. Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't know why. Okay.
Yeah, his if you have Gust, it's 40% unpierceable DR.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But I mean, sorry. I was referring to like his kit alone, like not like his preference stuff. But you're right. Obviously, you'll get percentage from it.
And that's also Excel too, which is more flat DR. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like Felix is the first time I think they printed like someone with just flat DR, and then they're also really good because of like other stuff, right? But yeah, I
don't know. Tiki's weird, and then she's also built so it's like you want to run an offensive special, so like Goose Friend is like, eh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's like, what did they want to do with the C? I don't know. She got the short end to say. I feel so bad.
Loki, I would put her even like in D, which sounds crazy.
Okay, I don't know if I go that far. I think D is a whole different level.
Trash.
Like those are bad. Those are bad units that can do something with their weapon and preference skills. I don't think she's bad. I just think
I also might put her in D.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm
like,
sorry. I don't
like
think
C minus.
I really
like C
I think C minus.
C minus. Yeah. Shake.
But do we think she's worse than the others two that we have there?
Easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Easily.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, man, that's rough. Man, you get your refine and you're still shit. I mean, hopefully they come out with some cool dragon skills that salvage her a bit. But yeah, it's
Hopefully,
not great looking for her, unfortunately. So I think C, yes, bottom of C is probably fair for her for now. But I really do not think D is where she is gonna be. I think that might be a little too harsh. But all right, let's move on to Seliph. Seliph, when he first released, was I think many people considered the best CYL 6 unit.
Yep.
For a while. He had Kanto, I think it was Kanto 2 in his C skill, and it got extra movement, or not C skill, was it his weapon? No, it was his weapon. Yeah, his weapon. And he has Miracle in his weapon, which is at the time was pretty uncommon. It's still not super common these days. There are counters against it nowadays, but at the time, for a while, there was nothing you could really do except like really brute force him. He gets no follow up for himself, which is at this time like whatever extra movement, as I said. Yeah, that's how it was like before his refine. With his refine, he gets like the main gist or important thing that he gets is like excel, which is really good. Not only does he have Miracle, but he's going to have a decent amount of flat DR, which can be stacked with even more Excel in his A skill. Yeah, I think he's alright, but I really don't think he's an A tier unit. I don't know. Like, his Miracle is good, but there's counters to it nowadays.
Interesting. I actually think he is A.
Really?
I like him an unusually high amount. You mentioned the Miracle, but I would argue like they did at one point try to kill Miracle, like when they made the Ganin Good Gap and the Fatal Smoke, right?
Right, yeah.
But we don't really see that, very much. It's just not as common. At least I don't really like see it, or I don't think it's that impactful. And then on top of that, it's never been easier to heal. Like everyone is running Breath of Life and then also Haithran, so I think it's actually benefited him more, like a net positive in keeping his Miracle and also keeping it valuable. So, and him being Virtue of 4-move Cav, like we don't have too many of them. Obviously we have more of them than when he first came out, but I think that 4-move does a lot. It's just it makes him very, very threatening, and the Kanto 2 makes him a good hit and run.
Oh yeah, he is good with hit and run.
Right, like I'm not saying he's like broken, but honestly, I think he's an excellent unit. I think he's very capable. I think he is uniquely capable in the sense that he's unique of being a 4-move melee cav. I like him for those reasons alone, so I just see him as like significantly different than B, but
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, Satachi, what about you?
I'm not too I'm gonna be so real. I actually don't even know how to rate this unit, honestly. It's a lot of cool stuff on paper, but like, I don't know. I personally just haven't seen any Seliph stuff lately doing anything. I've seen like literally everything but Seliph.
Gotcha.
The past like, I don't know when they're like a couple days. So I don't know. I don't really have that much of an opinion. The things that I did hear was that it wasn't like, it was good, but like not like crazy good, like the refine,
Yeah, the refine did not do much, but I just think by virtue of what he innately has, I would not put him like gatekeeper level. Like, I think he's.
Yeah, that's true.
Because even the Excel and all the flat DR he gets, like everything compounds together. Like it's very synergistic kit with his Miracle and everything else, and the healing and everyone else in the game. Like everything works together to make him overall net better. Like the refine did not break anything crazy, but I think he's a very capable unit.
Gotcha. I find that, I mean, okay, so he's an old unit, but I do find that he does not keep up with speed creep that well with the refine.
Yeah, and he needs that speed not just offensively, but defensively too. Because like, what if like the one hit
takes him
puts
to
him in
yeah,
miracle range,
exactly.
and then the second hit just like owns him.
Right, and there's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's why
damage
he
out
died
there.
in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with Excel, there's a lot of damage out there, and a lot of speed out there. And I'm not confident that he can his speed is like matching what the meta is these days.
Yeah, it's
personally.
definitely not. Yeah, they just upped it, so there's definitely no way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, for that alone, we can put him in B. Like,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. The speed is, yeah. Like, I still like him for his like immense threat range. Like that puts pressure that
Oh yeah.
no
for
one
sure.
else can even
Yeah.
compete with. Like, I think he's best of B, but yeah, securing kills is kind of tricky.
Yeah, that's why I personally found while testing him. Now the question is, how do we tier him within the tier? So I think he's better than at least Dimitri. Marianne's just so unique that it's kind of hard to rate her.
True.
But I would honestly probably put him under Marianne, personally.
I was gonna say low-key,
Over Marianne. I can see arguments
actually
for
no,
both.
I'd put him, I'd put him above Dimitri, I guess. Yeah, I'd do that, actually.
Okay, gotcha.
At first I was gonna say before Dimitri, and then I thought about it, I'm like, nah.
No, definitely after Dimitri, I think.
Yeah, definitely after Dimitri, actually. Yeah.
I don't know,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Marianne is unique, but I just really like Selef's like ability to threaten, and him being like self-sufficient in the situations that he obviously succeeds. Like he will snipe any ranged unit, like bam, if you let him go far.
Right, yeah.
And then, but yeah, it's tricky. Like, okay, we'll put him there. Like, it's the speed is a big issue. So
Yeah,
and it's
that's
only
true.
getting bigger. So yeah, we'll put him there.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, with Marianne, I feel like you need to have some setup for her to reach her full potential. Like, you need to have another unit go before she does. Whereas Sel, if you could just let him go anywhere, he's got a little more flexibility.
Yeah, like on average performance, I think he's better than Marianne, right? In the niche,
It depends on what you value more, I feel like. Ether raids or summoner duels,
That's a good point. Oh, man.
actually. Because Marianne's an ether raids unit, Selef was a summoner duels unit, so...
Yeah.
I feel like Selef can kind of work in Ether Raid's defense, maybe?
I feel like they're both interchangeable. You can
Yeah, I
choose
kind of think so
either
too.
or, I don't
I'll
know.
keep Marianne above, actually, for now.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Cool, alright. Next up is the last CYL 6
Oh my god.
unit. It is female Byleth. So female Byleth originally started out as like a Omni, or like a Vantage Sweeper kind of unit with her, what was the B skill called? Speed Preempt, yeah. Speed Preempt. She needs to outspeed her foe in order to get this. So sometimes it can be a little hard, but she does have some decent speed, and she does have a unique special Divine Pulse, which gives her DR, like damage resistance that is not pierceable. I'm pretty sure it's not pierceable, and it's a decent amount. It's 75%.
Yeah, it's not pierceable, which is insane.
Unpierceable 75%. Like Brave Ike is rolling in his grave right now. Like that used to be me, guys. That used to be me. And then her weapon, it does give her slaying. She gets no follow up, which is not bad. And then she essentially gets like times pulse in it, and some extra stats. And then with her refine, she does get Canto 1, which I find a little unfortunate. I think even Canto 2 wouldn't have been like too crazy, but yeah. And then I believe she gets full DR piercing when she triggers her special, and then she has anti-guard and some extra stats to put the cherry on top of that. On paper, I think it seems like her whole kit seems pretty solid. 75% unpierceable DRs. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at, and she's able to pierce through DR herself when she you know, use her specials, which she is spamming specials a decent amount, honestly.
Yeah, it will pretty much always go off.
Right, so... but there's so much speed out there that I don't think I could put her in A, because she really is speed reliant for like the enemy phase versions of her. I know there are player phase versions of her that are probably better. I'm mainly judging off of the enemy phase. I am not a Brave Byleth, you know, expert, so I'm mainly just basing her off of what I know, just enemy phase. So based off of that, I'd say she's probably a B tier after the testing that I've done. I think she's decent, but not phenomenal, because anything that she gets outsped on, she blows up. Brave attacks blow her up, from what I've seen. So I'd personally put her B tier, but let's start out with enemy first, because I know Satachi probably has a lot to say.
I would even put her in C, to be honest.
Whoa,
like,
whoa, really?
Okay, no, you're actually capping.
The shield, I don't know what her special is called. The Divine Pulse?
Divine Pulse.
It's very good, but even the female Fallen Byleth was struggling to survive because of just like a tremendous amount of issues. And I think she's better at surviving than Brave Byleth is, because it's just like she's a flyer, which is always so awkward to be.
So
like you have so many
disagree with
bows, and it's just difficult because beyond the ability to tank, like I think you're right in measuring her for enemy phase, because that's like it's so awkward to use her, because she's not built to player phase, she's built to enemy phase, but her archetype is just one of the worst ones to be if you're trying to enemy phase. And so really, like, I just don't really know what you would do with her. And then the Canto 1, like, it's never
Canto
been
1's
easier to get
crazy.
Canto. The brand new, like, they just released another one that can give you Canto 1, the Thea, right? So there's so many units that you can get Canto 1 from. I don't think her having Canto is exceptional. I don't think her having NFU is exceptional. I don't think most things in her kit is exceptional. The only thing is just Divine Pulse, and even then, you know, it's nothing we haven't seen before, and it's already worse than the things we've seen before. Like, I just don't think she's going to be surviving things in the future as we have more and more powerful nukes. So,
all right. I could see that. Yeah, for sure. She's barely holding on as is, from my experience. And you know, power creep is a relentless force, but Satachi, let's see your take.
Satachi. Let's hear it.
Oh man. Okay, so my initial impression was I was kind of annoyed. I was like, damn, the number one thing she I think needed the most was special jump. That way she can actually consistently proc her special off, because they kind of doubled down on her needing a proc her special. But in a meta full of Hush Spectrum and Scowl, I was like, wow, yeah, no, this is gonna suck, isn't it? I don't want to spoil too much, because I actually, the past 2 days, I've been having a lot of... I have a showcase coming up.
Ooh, alright.
Okay.
Let me just say, I am so surprised with how much she can actually work. Without saying anything, I don't want to say who it is, but there's 4 Fatubers that are in Vault of Heaven that I soloed with Brave Byleth.
Soloed? Whoa.
With all she had was Brave Bernadette. That's all she had. And it was in a scam showcase. It was a real, legit, like, Ether Raids team. And let me tell you, I super mega underestimated it. I feel like she's better, unironically. I think she's better as a nuke, actually. I think if you do run her as a Vantage unit, you have to run her with Bernadette.
Right.
Because one, she'll have Vantage. You don't have to rely on... You're not going to convince me you're going to put Speed Preempt on her. I don't care.
That was a horrible skill.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So, you would put her with Brave Bernadetta. Let's say you get Scowled. Because of the Desperation, you will get the special. You just will. You will get the special on the second hit. And if that doesn't kill, you're genuinely, I swear on everything, you're going to take 0 damage. Because the 75% unpierceable DR, and then the 20% flat DR you're getting based on your speed, and on top of that, if you have Ike Ring, literally she actually does not take any damage when she genuinely gets her special off.
Right.
Regardless of the situation. She does get whatchamacallit? Sometimes she can struggle with the brave attacks, but again, if you run her with Bernadetta, unironically, Desperation plus Vantage like fix so much of her problems because you're gonna hit the opponent enough times with low cooldown to the point that when you proc your Divine Pulse, if they do live and they hit you with a special, that's genuinely gonna be like at most like what 10 damage. Like I'm not even kidding. So the build that I personally run is Mastery, Resonance 4. That way she at least pierces some DR when she doesn't have a special proc.
Right, yeah.
And then Deadly Miasma. I think Deadly Miasma is such an underrated skill. Like, genuinely, it neutralizes all your foes' bonuses, and then, like, at the very least gives them all -10 at the very least, and that's not counting, like, the support you're getting from your teammates and her stats alone, so I actually think she's, as much as I hate to say I was wrong, I think she's really good. At the very least, right now, put her above Brave Marianne. I'm willing to go that far. I went from being the biggest doubter on this unit, so holy crap. Like, this unit's actually really insane. Like, genuinely. And she takes down, and with the test that, maybe it's my build specifically with just Brave Bernadetta support, but mine's been able to kill Duo Byleth and Murs. So,
wow.
I'm pretty happy. That's all I can ask for. Yeah. Sorry for that long monologue, but like,
no,
I'd
fine,
put her at the very least above
crave it.
Brave Marianne.
Yeah, that's why we.
I think she's really, really good. I think she's really, really good. I can't, and I'm happy I was wrong about her. Like genuinely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Brave Byleth and Fallen Byleth. Like those are my two favorite Byleths. So. I've used them Omega extensively, so I kind of okay. That's maybe not Fallen Byleth, but Winter. But anyways, yeah.
Right.
So I'm happy that she actually got a really great refine. So I personally think she's above Marianne.
Okay.
Wow.
With the nuking potential and yeah, she literally her only support she really needs is Bernadetta, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, like she's. I don't know. Like
she does get a lot of stats too. Yeah. And then the Deadly Miasma and Mastery combo is just broken. Like it's so broken. Because then you get to buff yourself by like plus 30, like genuinely, while your enemy can't get any buffs to their speed or res or anything if Miasma's on the field. So it's so free. It's genuinely so free.
It's just interesting. Yeah, it's interesting you say she's a player phase unit. Cause
I'd rather, unless you're running her with Bernie, I'd rather use her as a player phase.
Yeah, I saw that Phoenix Master 1 said, like, you probably should actually pivot her to player phase for, like, the max investment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But if you pair her with Brave Bernie, she's actually so broken. Oh my god, she's so good.
But you could, I think most units benefit a lot from Bernie.
That is fair.
Yeah, but I think Byleth actually gets the best, like...
Yeah, that's true. Out of all these units, probably...
She's getting 0 damage, literally. Like, actually. It's crazy. Like, if she procs a special, of course. She does that, she's not taking damage. Like, period.
How did she fare against someone with, like, Hush Spectrum or Scowl? How do you feel that?
If you have... Okay. If you have Bernadetta support, even if they live, because you have Desperation, the second hit will be Divine Pulse, so you'll still live if they retaliate.
Right, yeah. You should, at least, yeah.
Yeah, from the tests that I've done, yeah, I've lived.
Okay.
Obviously, if you have special jump support or run her with Nephany, her value just skyrocketed lately, by the way. That would be way better, you know. So.
I guess it's true. Yeah. But like, should we measure a unit based on like a specific support? Like, does that make sense?
I don't think it's.
I think so.
I think it's
like
fair. I think it's
true
fair.
potential kind of situation. Because who else would really?
Yeah, and also it's like one unit too, as opposed to Dimitri, the Omni tank that you'd want.
Yeah, he needs like a lot of.
I think it's the other way around. Like the fact that you can only use one unit to support makes it trickier, as opposed to like multiple units you can fit the bill.
Yeah, but that's if you're going the Vantage route.
I guess. Yeah.
This is a tough unit to kind of judge.
Right. Yeah. Okay, we can. Well, at least she's in B. We can reorder B later, but.
Oh, we don't think she's A.
Satachi, do you think she's A?
I think she's at the top of B or very bottom of A with what we have next coming up.
Ooh.
Okay. I kind of
Let's
feel
put her-
like her
Yeah, let's
duels.
put her somewhere for now. And then
Yeah, I
we
think
can pick.
bottom of A probably could be pretty good. I think also A is like kind of
Really?
barren for now.
Yeah.
'Cause-
okay.
Yeah.
Let's put
Because
her
I
there.
feel like I think people are just judging her by her enemy phasing. Maybe she should pivot to player phase or like mixed phase. But she does need
The best
burns,
part is that
of
if you have
course.
Bernadetta, you can literally do both because the desperation will work when you play her phase.
Right, that's true.
So, it's amazing.
Okay. I think for now I'll put her in A.
And then readjust, right? We can
Right,
always-
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but I like her there.
Okay, cool. I do value Satachi's opinion out of both mine and enemies more, just because he has more experience.
Yeah, that's true.
And also-
All I
It's
use is
Satachi.
Edelgard's imbalance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You do have her at like probably the fullest potential, whereas I am actually just running base kit, and even then I feel like she's decent with base kit, if I'm being completely honest. So,
Oh wow, that's nice.
like she's actually not terrible. She's been able to take some pretty decent matchups, despite very much being power crept in speed, but she does kind of decent. Not gonna lie. So with the full potential of going player phase, maybe A is about where she is, but I could see her being a top B. But I think let's just move on for now.
Yeah, we'll put her there.
Okay, cool. So now let's start off CYL7 with Brave Robin. Brave Robin, he is special in that he is able to give spectrum rally spectrum to his allies and to himself, which allows a special acceleration before the first hit, which has been pretty good recently. And he also introduced Gambit, which was good for a while, but it's pierceable, so it's not like the craziest thing in the world. And then his offense, like his capabilities himself, are kind of mixed. He can teleport pretty well to his allies with Rally Spectrum, but then he's a melee unit, which can be a little bit awkward at times. It's not as flexible. The range isn't going to be as high. And he does, it seems like he's pigeonholed to just using, Bonfire or Ignis, because that's how he gets, Hexblade. Well, I guess Hexblade's not, super crazy these days. He's got some stats. He's got some, DR. He's also got, looks like he's got tempo on his weapon. Honestly, I do like him, but I don't think he's very good anymore, even as a support unit. His Rally Spectrum is just not as crazy as Hush Spectrum. I think maybe underneath Gatekeeper would be safe, personally.
Yeah.
I would put him
That's-
even under Lysithia.
Whoa,
Which is
whoa,
sad.
really?
Damn.
Like,
No, I still value special jump, but aside from that, it's
It's extra
very
stats,
awkward,
yeah.
like what you said. Yeah.
really? Like a whole team slot just for me, the thing that really brought him down is the Celica ring. Like the fact that everyone else can move like crazy, I think it really devalued his uniqueness in terms of the moving around, his ability to jump to allies. And then everybody has a special jumping now. If you are a competent unit, you should ideally not have any issues getting your special going off.
Yeah, that's a
You
fair
either have
point.
special jumping built in or something in your kit. So if you were relying on just Brave Male Robin to help you out, I don't think you were that good in the first place. And beyond that, he's not good on his own. He's not really that good in combat. It's just very difficult for me to the stats are nice, but it doesn't rock your world, which is crazy because I actually used to think he was the best out of the group, or one of the best. When you I remember watching the trailer right before the units came out. I was like, oh, this looks crazy. But I wish he was better. But honestly, I don't really think he's that good. I just don't really know what's there. He doesn't do anything unique, right? So
Yeah, apart from like Rally Spectrum, for the most part, his weapon isn't like super crazy. It's interesting, but it's not crazy. Gambit 4 is not that good anymore. Although it's not like I'm gonna attribute that to him necessarily. So yeah, I can kind of see that. I do find, and I don't know if this is, maybe I'm misremembering, but if you like have him like give his ally Rally Spectrum, and then they're going up against someone with either like Hush Spectrum or like Scowl, does that like cancel out? So like if I give this to like Emblem Ike, he faces off against someone with Scowl, is he still able to get Great Ether?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought too. And there's still some value in there, because there's a lot of units that do get shut down by Scowl. Again, I'm mainly thinking about Emblem Ike. Not that that's ever happened to me before, but but I do pair him up with Robin with pretty decent results personally. So it could be a counter towards Hush Spectrum, something out there.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, maybe C is a little bit harsh. Yeah, like still support like better. Like, yeah, the other people in C aren't doing much anyways. So yeah. Actually, let's keep him in B. I'm still not high on him. I still don't think he's that good.
Yeah, me neither.
I think he will trend like downwards. But I think he can stay. He can chill in B.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think so too. And I don't think. Yeah, I think he's just probably better than Marth. Gatekeeper can his blocking is just so good. War blocking is just, it can be insane. It could shut down entire teams. But Rally Spectrum it's just kind of like a nice icing on the cake. But it's not like Bernadetta where it like totally like it changes how you view a unit. It's more like you give to an already good unit that might have a counter, and it's just like kind of nice to have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, let's put him there.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Next up is Brave Golveg.
All right, we should all agree where she goes, right?
I'm not sure. So she's kind of interesting. She's a Gale Force unit, and she's a flyer. Both pretty good stuff. Okay. Here's my stance on her. I find that her killing potential is not that great. I find that while she is a good Gale Force unit, sometimes she can't even get it off because, like, there's just, like, a Mur in the way who, even if I pivot towards an AoE kind of build on Golveg, she just can't do anything. Or even, like, Breath of Life 4, I can't get her to, survive the first hit. And even if she does survive sometimes, she doesn't kill, which feels really bad, man. So I kind of, like, if I'm being honest, I think she's the worst CYL 7 unit personally.
Wow.
I agree.
Wow.
Whoa.
Really?
I kind of think her stats and her offenses just don't, and she has no survivability, I feel like.
Oh, wait, I forgot Robin exists. No, never mind. I don't agree then.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so I will say I personally probably would put her in low, well, maybe like, yeah, lowish B, maybe mid-lowish B. That's probably where I would put her. It's like maybe something like, okay, no, something like this personally. But now I'm curious of what y'all have to say about this. All right.
I think she's bottom of A.
Okay.
Really? I'm actually in between both of you. Like, I think she's top of B, but
I could settle for top of B.
But I was actually almost convinced to put her lower because of Rocket Gal. Because low-key, I think you're right, Rocket Gal. It's tricky because the AoE bit is so hard nowadays with Breath of Life. And I know that she kind of rose in value with like Celica Ring, and then also within the past year there's been so many ways to bypass her gravity. So in that sense, she liked things a lot, but her offensively, I think she was always almost reliant on that AoE. Like maybe people didn't see her weakness because everyone was running her with AoEs anyway. But
right.
Now that AoEs are very tricky, in my opinion, I think they've never been hit harder. I think they're very hard to run nowadays. I can see her being mid of B, if not lower. I was surprised when you said she's the worst of CYL 7, but that's only because I have an even lower opinion of male Robin.
Right?
But,
yeah.
Yeah. But in general, you're right. I do think Golveg will start. She's trending downwards for sure, which is
right. I feel that way too.
Unfortunate.
I feel like she's trending downward even more than Robin, because at least Robin has support. She's very self-reliant on just Gale Forcing, but she has to survive to get the Gale Force, right?
Yeah.
So, Satachi, what do you have anything else to add, or?
Oh, she low-key hard carries me in Gale Force when Edelgard doesn't work. Even with Breath of Life, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is fun.
Do you like field her with like Fatal Smoke 4 or something?
No, she has base kit, just double Fury.
I don't know. I tried that, and it really does not work that well. Like, I do that too, the double Fury and stuff, and I feel like she really doesn't kill a lot of stuff. Like Mur's the biggest culprit, but even like Winter Byleth, who's even like a
really.
Yeah, I feel like she can't kill him sometimes. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know, not using a really like no merges or something. I guess she doesn't really want merges anyways because it takes her out of like the Fury.
Oh well, I mean, maybe this is also why I pair her with Emblem. Bridal Emblem,
right.
Well,
so they don't get saved.
That's a fair
I
point.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way she just Omega pre-charges her AoE and she just.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Oh man,
That's
Emblem's
literally
such a
what
good
I do
unit.
with my Golveg, and then like they kind of just have to hold that L. No more farcing.
I will say, Rocket Gal, like if she's struggling even now, she will definitely struggle later. Like it's not getting easier to kill things. I think.
I kind of feel that too.
Right. So I just see it. You're gonna notice
now
it
with
even harder.
every defense gonna have Fjorm, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that's
actually,
true.
I think Fjorm is just the start. Like.
Yeah.
The fact that they made Hardy Fighter 4, or it's not called that, but you know what I mean, right?
Shield
It
Fighter.
basically is low key.
They are. I don't think they're gonna stop there. Like I think they truly are going to continue to buff saves. Like that's how I kind of see the way it's going, which makes it harder for every other player face nuker. And if you're already struggling today, I think you're gonna struggle harder tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. I agree. That's my take as well for the most part. It seems like me and ENEMii are mainly in agreement. Satachi's really risen her up. Do we think she's better than Marth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think too. I still think she's worse than Robin. Seems like both of you
I
think
think
That's
she's better.
crazy.
because
yeah.
at least he has support. If eventually, Golveg gets power crept and it's not good, at least Robin is
I'd
there.
agree with you if Brave Robin was ranged.
Well, but yeah, okay, we're not ranking the young Robin, but
Oh yeah.
But I mean, even young male Robin exists. So like it's.
Yeah, young male Robins. Yeah. Really
exactly.
good.
Yeah, I've actually
Just what
pivoted
happened-
towards
yeah.
using him more than
Yeah.
just
exactly,
Robin.
like, yeah.
So I guess it's a fair
I'm happy to
point.
put her under Robin. Actually.
Oh,
I think
really?
she's good there. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you actually convinced me with the support thing. Like you're right. Like he will always have at least something going for him. It's not much, but as opposed to her, which will truly be just another action unit sometimes. But if you can't do anything with those actions, then like so what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Unless she gets some sort of like protection down the line or some sort of like
it's hard to
flat DR. Like
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
exactly. Like the Gale Force team or the Gale Force unit needs to survive to be a Gale Force unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, let's go for Soren. So Brave Soren is honestly kind of insane. He's able to assign decoy, which is force his allies to become savior units. Originally, it's supposed to be like, I think that they designed it to be, only his support ally, but in actuality, you can give this to multiple units by having their attack, I believe it was attack, or no, it was defense, I think.
Attack or defense?
Yeah, it was defense to be the same amount, which is not terribly hard to do, and then you can have a far savior and a near savior that are not necessarily armors, yeah, that's pretty fucking insane. In all honesty, if I'm being honest, S tier.
Yeah.
But what do y'all think?
Yeah.
Like The only reason my issue there is because I still think Chrom deserves S+, but ignoring that, I think Soren is like very
Soren's
comfy
crazy.
in S tier. I think
He ages
exceptional.
better with the more units that come out, which is crazy.
Right, yeah.
And you don't even have to, like, depending on the situation, you don't even have to, like, defense match. You can just be like, alright, Fjorm, you have far save. Alright, who's the craziest one ranged unit I have?
Exactly,
so,
yeah. She definitely falls from one range.
And Soren's combat is good enough.
I think
not
it's very
crazy,
good. He's got brave,
not
he's
bad.
got, like,
not crazy, not bad, but good enough where it's not like a gatekeeper, you know?
Yeah, okay,
where
yeah,
it's
gatekeeper
like,
is just
crazy
bad.
support. You know, crazy support, but it's freaking gatekeeper. You know, he's good enough to like hold his own, to pull his own weight.
Exactly.
You know, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have mixed feelings about his combat. I feel like as a combat unit, he's like here, but his support is like uber S plus that I guess it balances out to an S in my opinion.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't fight, which honestly sometimes it's a lot with me, he's putting Savior on his allies.
Yeah, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, of course.
And as your allies die, if they die, he just keeps putting Savior. It's not like you just get one Savior. And the next one,
right.
and the next one, you know?
Shit.
So it's...
Yeah.
So it's I feel like he's pretty insane. I think personally, and you know, I don't want to spoil... Okay, I'm going to spoil a little bit. I think he's the best CYL 7 unit.
Wow. Okay.
I agree.
So...
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think he's very, very good. Like you said, right? He's immediately useful. Doesn't have to set foot, do anything. And then the best part is you were already gonna run. Like in my opinion, his best like thing is just role compression or like team slot compression because you're probably already running an Omni tank. You're probably already running a far save, but you really don't run that many near saves. No problem. Bam, you slot him in and then you've got everything that you were already going to run anyways. Or if for some reason you don't want to run a far save, then like bam, you're already probably gonna run like, I don't know, Duo Asker, like, you know, one of those really good, you know, candidates.
Right, yeah.
I think he's exceptional because he works when you were already doing the things you wanted to do. Like it's just very good.
Exactly,
He's
yeah. There's no compromise to like your team building necessarily, aside from like figuring out the defense thing.
Yeah.
So all right, yeah, Soren, very good unit, like him a lot. All right, next up is Corrin, female brave Corrin. She introduced the stone terrain, which is still pretty decent. Provides a good amount of defense. It provides protection from AOE's, I believe, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah,
And
actually, like one thing I forgot on the AOE topic. Another reason why it's AOEs have never been, you know, so hit harder now is because we have so much stone terrain too. Like stone terrain has never been common, so I think it's just very hard to run AOEs, especially because of her. So yeah. Yeah,
that's true. So that's definitely a couple points for Corrin. She's pretty fast. She's not like a slow savior unit. She's pretty speedy. She's a dragon unit, so she can use any sort of great dragon skills out there. And she's an armor unit, so armor flow, no problem, easy stuff. I find that she is aging a little bit. You know, as a savior, she's still pretty decent, but I find like in the top echelons of nukes and stuff, she can fold relatively easily, especially against like effective against armors and dragons. So for instance, like Atun Makaya takes her out pretty easily in my opinion from what I've seen. So I find that her how do I say this? She's decent, but she's nowhere near the top far savior as I felt like she used to be. I felt like she was definitely probably the best one on her release, but now she's like somewhat middle of the pack, but she still does provide that stone terrain, which makes her pretty decent. So I think probably somewhere in B tier, high-ish B tier would be safe for me. Maybe low A tier, but yeah, I'm curious at what you guys have to think about her.
I was gonna say above Brave Byleth because the shield fighter buff is kind of insane.
Oh fuck yeah, I guess I forgot about that.
Another thing is that she also does have a lot of daunts in her kit, which does age well, and then, yeah, like you said, Divine Vein, which not only AoE protection, but flat 10 damage reduction when they proc a special. So that's really good.
Wait, can you remind me what a Daunt is again?
Oh, it's like just like inflict minus whatever on the opponent.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like she has a bunch of those, if I remember correctly, in her kit. Like I think her A skill alone has like Omni -9 on the.
I think it's like -7, and yeah, which is still pretty decent. Yeah.
Was it 7? Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like, it's funny because when I first just think of her, I was actually ready to put her very low, but the more I think about it, I think she's very, very capable. Obviously, she does fold, but we're already ranking Ephraim very high for the sake of body blocking, and she is not only good for the stone terrain. Like the thing, I actually like her a lot better than both the Lumeras and even the A skill to set up the stone terrain.
Yeah, same.
Because like she is already in the back line supporting everyone anyway, so she's like in a perfect position to set up the terrain to do the exact thing you already wanted it to do anyway. Like it's very synergistic. You can guarantee to go off like when you want it to go off, basically. And then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she has trainee BST, right? So even when she came out,
200?
I think so. Yeah, it was
so
pretty
like,
insane.
Yeah.
In terms of aging, she's already like. She was already, I guess, 2 gens when she came out. She's the newest gen when she came out, but since she had trainee BST, she's like 2 gens above. So now she's like what, just as competitive of everyone else almost, or something like that. But I just mention it because stat wise, I think she's relatively competitive than you might think. So I like her a lot.
And she's still used in AR and in Summoner Duels.
Yeah, like she's not the best, which is unfortunate, but very, very capable and very good.
Yeah, and then one thing about her base kit is that she has a lot of reduces damage by like 7 or like by like a number. So Shield Fighter just super mega like complements that. Like
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
So, and her biggest weakness was getting doubled. Now because of Shield Fighter, it's like now you don't have to worry about that because you just will proc twice now.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Okay, yeah, I think I definitely underestimated her a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she worse than Adel though?
I think she's better than Edelgard.
I think she's better.
Yeah.
I was gonna put her up. Yeah.
Because Edelgard is better as a. Here, how does this fucking work? Shit. Wait. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Because Edelgard is mainly a near savior. I feel like, and I feel like far saviors are more important in the meta.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, yeah, I can see.
If she was blue, maybe I'd consider her being over Corrin, but no, she's green, and Felix will just annihilate.
Oh yeah,
her,
yep, yeah. Felix is.
I think I don't know how well Shield Fighter would do on her, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like most units use it pretty decently. I mean, I feel like Hardy Fighter was already really good as it was. I really did not think it needed an upgrade. So now that it has one,
no, it did not. It really did not at all.
Yeah, it's still good, man.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
Who did that?
So fucking dumb. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. I just thought it was like kind of insane that we're getting that, but we don't have what's the red one? The red B skill.
Is it bold?
Yeah, bold fighter. We don't have tier 4 bold fighter.
And the funniest thing is, I feel like every time they made a tier 4 or like variant of the other fighter skills, they realized that no one was summoning for it because they just wanted to run Hardy Fighter anyways. Yeah. And now when they make Bold Fighter 4, they still will not summon for it because it just won't be better than Shield Fighter. Oh so it's depressing.
Yeah,
they can do a few things to make it good, and then maybe other armors can be good for Gale Force. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can be like attack twice.
Yeah, but that's a very niche case. Like, yeah, it's...
That might be pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just the inclusion of Shield Fighter probably bumped up some of the armors up by a decent amount.
Yo, low-key, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is insane. All right, cool. So let us move on to starting out our CYL 8 badge, starting with Alphonse. So Alphonse is a pretty interesting unit. He is a slow axe cavalry unit. He's pretty tanky. He wants to try to get the one shot with his special Makings of King, which does a decent amount. Not decent. It does a fuck ton of damage. A truckload. And his like fun little gimmick is great talent, which allows him and his allies to get like permanent as of the battle. That is permanent like stats to attack, defense, and resistance. And for Alphonse, it caps at 20. For his allies, it caps at 10 for each of the stats. Yeah, he's at least right off the box, he's pretty usable. Fortifications gives him a way to create Divine Faint Stones. Yeah, you know, Divine Faint Stones, right? The great skill that kills AoEs. He's got Reopening, which helped crash the game for a little while, but that that helps. It gives like flat DR, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So flat DR is at this point pretty easy to get these days. So there's that. He's got Breath of Life 4, which he uses pretty well for the most part. I feel like, I don't know, he's kind of polarizing. I feel like some people either think he's super broken or super mid. I think I'm a little more optimistic. I think I might put him at top of A, just because he does a fuck ton of damage. If you don't kill him right away, as soon as possible, he's just going to continue to grow and grow, which also helps his allies. He does a shit ton of damage himself. Granted, he is cavalry, so there are some terrain that he has to like kind of trek through. That could be pretty annoying. I honestly don't think he's an S tier because he does require some build up, and he folds to magic. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. I'm thinking of someone else. He does fold to like I wouldn't say fold, but he's not able to take out miracle units because he really relies on one-shotting, and Miracle just kind of laughs at that. So I would probably put him top of A personally, but I know that I am the optimist. I feel like I'm very optimistic about him, so I'm curious about what you guys have to say.
Ooh.
ENEMii, you go first.
Okay. Well, first of all,
Oh,
I think it's always tricky to evaluate the CYL 8 because they're the newest. So like obviously it's the hardest.
Right. Yeah.
This is gonna sound crazy. I'm putting him next to Male Robin. I think.
Whoa.
Alphonse
Yo, that's crazy. Literally, me
definitely-
too.
What?
That's crazy. I actually thought the same.
What? Yo,
Okay,
yo,
I
yo.
think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's somewhere around that level. But I'll let you finish. Yeah, I don't want to
Like,
interrupt your flow. Go for
This for context, Alphonse is my favorite. I want him to be busted, and I vividly remember watching the trailer. And in my mind, I'm like, not only is this guy the worst today, I think he will age the worst out of all the CYL.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And here's my rationale, right? Great talent. It's broken or cool right now, but only because of novelty. Wait until the day we are swimming in great talent or ways to increase great talent. And for context, like his great talent only goes up to 20, but the mechanic itself can go up to like, I don't think it's like 99, right? So
Right,
to me, that's the game. That's IS literally telling you like, hey, this is how it's gonna be right now, but like, you know, we'll think of a way to do it differently later. So I know I would bet my house that we're gonna get great talent in some other way, you know. And when we do, it's definitely gonna be better than the way Alphonse does it. So from a support standpoint, I think he will age the worst, right? And then offensively, I kind of view him like an Emblem Ike. Like he's full, you know, we're no stranger to crazy, insane, bulky, Emblem Ike. So we've already had so many ways to take out units on his level. I think Alphonse is in a similar, if not worse, ballpark. So if you can, like, I'm not saying they share the same matchups, but we are no stranger to really tanky guys. And so with those two combined, I just see it very hard to justify running this slow, not offensive, built unit, and I think it's unfortunate. I think he will age the worst.
All right. Satachi, what do you have to say?
So one thing I've noticed, especially in summoner duels, I've always noticed that despite Alphonse being the one to support his team with great talent, the team kind of had to revolve around him, and I'm like, that's really weird. So because of that, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, because he's supposed to be able to support everyone else, but you know, if you really want to super make him work, especially super consistently, you have to build around him, and it's just like, isn't that kind of counterintuitive? I don't know, man. And then also, if he had a guaranteed follow-up attack, which I know might not be the hardest thing in the world to just give him, like outsource, like via Crux or something, I wouldn't worry about Scowl too much. But I really do like when units just like
are self-sufficient.
Yeah, I value that a lot, you know? Like, I know some people are like, oh, you could just outsource that. Well, what if I don't want to? What if I could have just run, like, something else, you know? So, I'm not a huge fan of that. Also, this kind of goes back to, like, my feelings about, like, stats mattering to a certain extent, you know? We've dealt with, units that got plus 40, like, across the board, with Unity stacking with legendary mill
plus
Robin.
99 or whatever.
I'm sure I can handle Alphonse giving
plus 20, plus 10,
plus 20 to himself by turn 5. Like, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, like,
you know,
the turn thing is a huge, like, he's
the
not
turn
good
thing
now.
is the biggest turn off for me.
You have to wait,
or he has to
him
proc his special. So he either has to one shot and pray he doesn't die after. Because what if I have cancel control? Which, let's be honest, everyone has cancel control.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. He's just so. I don't know. I really don't like the way he designed. I think he's the worst one, and I also think he's going to age the worst.
Although, obviously, if we're talking about like how good he is today, like, you know, S tier, of course, but we're just looking at like a further
I wouldn't
down.
even say that. I
Really?
don't know.
Well, I mean, like,
no, he could. I think he's better than everyone in B, personally.
Yeah, better than everyone in B. I'd probably take him over.
Yeah,
over
but I think he's
Brave
probably
Violet.
like the worst in A.
Worse than A?
I think he's the worst in A.
Yeah, like, for context, when I say I put him next to Male Robin, that's like, if I include my future-looking feelings, but just based on, if I'm trying to be like, if I try to factor in more how good he is today,
Because his whole thing, like, straight up, one shot with special, over time, allies will get plus 10 to stats, and I'll get plus 20. We've already been in a meta where we had plus 40 across the board turn 1 because of Legendary Male Robin. I think we'll be fine. And that's not to mention, like, Scowl and Hush Spectrum being everywhere to prevent it from getting a special.
I mean,
So,
that's fair,
yeah.
but I feel like Unity stacking has basically been, shut down a little bit because
Dealt
there's
with.
something that actually counters it, right? What was it, like the ploy?
Kind of,
ploy
but,
4?
like, it's hard to slot in, though. Ploy is very hard to slot in.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, DTM still uses Legendary Male Robin, and it's been like a year and a half. So, yeah.
The reason why I'm high on him, if we think about his performance today, is because he's a 4-move cav. Like, I guess you could see my feelings
that's
with
true.
like Seliph. Like, you could tell I was high on Seliph because he's a 4-move. I'm very high on Alphonse for the same reason. I think he just threatens a lot, and his Kanto is bonkers. Like, obviously, if you have Kanto control, it doesn't matter. But if you don't, I think he has a very high potential ceiling today. If you think about his performance today. So for those reasons, I like him more than Brave Violet. I like him more than Adel. And he's
I don't like viewing on potential. I like what actually happened. That's how I view it personally. I could put him in A. I don't mind. Just I think at the very least, I'll die on this hill before Corrin. At the very least.
Before Corrin. Yeah, if I'm being extra critical, I would put him right next to Male Robin. But if I'm being optimistic about him, I would actually put him above Female Corrin.
Because, again, I feel like there's too much benefit of the doubts for him to, like, be at max. You gotta, like, let happen, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
I did
that's
talk
true.
mad smack about him before. These 4-move, like, I just think that's insane. Like,
I feel like
at least above Adel. Above Byleth, right?
No, I could settle for above Edelgard too.
I don't actually. Now that I think about it,
I don't know.
he's
it's weird.
very reliant on his special, and Scowl and Hush Spectrum is kind of everywhere. Whereas the rest of the units aren't like totally destroyed by it. Like they can still work, but I feel like based off of personal experience, Alphonse is not crazy scary without his special. Like I still feel like he's still good. Like, sure, he doesn't get the plus 20, but he starts out with a lot of shit still. His base, defense, and resistance are 47 and 40 respectively. There's no like weak
built very well.
point yet, and he also, like, at least base kit has fortifications, which gives him an extra plus 7 defense and resistance right off the bat. And I guess if I want to be optimistic, he does get the plus 2 from great talent at the very start at least. So there's an extra, like, this keeps stacking. He gets flat DR from reopening based off of his defense, which is already sky high. And then he's got Breath of Life 4. And again, I know I shouldn't attribute this to him because anyone could have Breath of Life 4, honestly. But as like a, I don't even know if I call him an Omni tank. He's more like a mixed phase unit, kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
As
more like he's a hit and sit, is what I like to.
Hit and sit.
I think he's a hit and sit.
Yeah, I guess.
A hit and sit that can move
I think
4 spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, but can run if he really wants to. Aside from cancer control. So, like, as of now, I could see him like aging. But as of now, which is what we're kind of basing the tier list on, I'd say he's definitely a step above B. I feel like everything folds against him in B for the most part. Like, none of them could probably like do a dent on him in that. I feel like A is probably safe for him.
A
I think bottom of A is probably safe because all the other units can do okay against Scowl, I feel like.
Yeah.
But
let's put him there.
Yeah, and Scowl's not like the biggest deal breaker because he starts off pretty bulky, but it's not ideal. You really do want to start snowballing with great talent. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you said like buy like Robin. I'm like, hold on. You know,
that's like very future looking. Like 2 years from now.
Possibly.
But
sure, yeah,
that's very far looking. But for now, let's put him there.
Okay, I think that's fair. All right. Next up is Bernadetta. So Bernadetta is a brave hitting, desperation hitting, blue bow cavalry unit. So she's got great range. She's got great offenses. Her player phase is pretty scary. And with paranoia, her enemy phase is actually not terrible either. I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest thing in the world, but it's pretty good. She hits like a truck. And she also helps her allies hit like a truck as well. Pretty good stuff all around. She comes with curve shot, which is what was it? It gives like damage reduction in like the special, I believe.
Yeah.
And it does like damage based off of either the foe's speed or defense, which is kind of strange, but sure, whatever. I guess that means she's gonna do decent against either a tank or a speedy unit. So I guess that's pretty nice. It's pretty flexible there. And then, you know, as a range unit, she's able to use like flare sparrow, not cult strike, assassin strike pretty decently on her end. Her offense is pretty good. I feel like I know some people like say like, oh, her taking out, like, she was facing off against Emblem Ike in like her showcase, right, when she was first shown. Some people thought that was like a scam showcase. I feel like that was pretty accurate because she gets 4 hits on Ike, not because of the forced desperation for her. Not only just because of Ike, but because she gets it. That's pretty solid as a blue unit. So with all that considered, I think she's probably up here.
Yep, I think she's better than the sword.
Yeah, this might be a hot take. I think she's the best of CYL8.
Whoa.
I really like her. For the reason that she is exceptionally unique in the situations she's good. Like, all the talk we were talking about Brave Byleth being good, I actually attribute that to Bernie being good. Like, having the vantage and the desperation, I think it is, and the self-chipping if you like really cared about that, but I think it is just a level of good that we will probably not see that much elsewhere, unless I'm wrong. They do make it later, but I like it a lot because Hardy Bearing is just on 1 seal, and you really, you really don't see that many units with it built in. It's still very rare, and I guess it will be rare considering they just haven't touched it for a very long time, even now. And so for all of those reasons, I think the ability to just give your whole team Vantage or Desperation, it can really change a lot of like matchups and just everything combined. I think it's something uniquely useful, and I like her a lot for that. So I think she's good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me too. Satachi?
Pretty much well said. Yeah, I pretty much agree.
Okay, yeah. I
also she's one of the very few units right now that we have that can consistently kill Fjorm. Anyways.
Oh.
The fourth hit. No, the fourth hit. No, because Fjorm is weak to the fourth hit because she gets the DR stuff on the hits through 1 to 3. She has nothing on the fourth hit. So if you special with Bernie on the fourth hit, she literally just explodes. Like, I've been seeing it everywhere.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's
unless you have like
up for her.
Mega like support, yeah.
Like she's got Brave, like on both phases. Like I think she's very good.
Oh yeah, she is really good. I feel like I definitely underestimated her a little bit when she first revealed, but she's pretty freaking scary, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, yeah, I think S is very well deserved for her. On to Felix, Brave Felix. This guy, I called him a jack of all trades master. I feel like a lot of people called him like a jack of all trades master of none kind of situation because it felt like everyone were like, oh, he doesn't specialize in just player phase, but he's not. His enemy phase isn't like the greatest either. So some people were a little bit down in the dumps on him for a little bit, but I think a lot of people's opinions on him have changed a lot because
I feel like it's the opposite.
Yeah, now I think a lot of people are like very high on him. He is a huge threat, hard to play with when he's like in the AI's hands, in my opinion. He is able to basically self-refresh himself either with his like first action where he doesn't do anything, or after his first combat in the turn. And this is like both. Like he gets it in both turns, or both in the same turn, which is insane. It's not an either or. It's he gets both. So that is absolutely fucking insane. So he's able to snipe pretty well. Oh, sorry, what you're saying? Something, Satachi?
Oh, I was gonna say he also has an enemy phase if you pair him up with Bernadetta.
Exactly.
It's so scary. It's so scary.
Yeah, like his enemy phase, he's no chump. Like I still think his player phase is the better of the two, but he is not a sitting duck. He will be able to take a hit and possibly even kill an enemy phase. So that's pretty good. Yeah, just Lone Wolf is just kind of insane. I think it's pretty cool. And in his base kit, he has Endless Tempest, which just gives him an extra movement, no matter what turn count it is. That's really insane. It is, it's susceptible to stall, but correct me if I'm wrong. Could he not just use his first turn and then just...
Yeah, he cleansed the stall. Yeah, just cleanse
exactly,
the stall.
So just self-cleanse the stall pretty easily, honestly. And I've seen this pretty common. He is like super busted with Emblem Cell. I know a lot of units are, but he is insane. It is so fucking annoying, and I'm so bad at facing off against that. Yeah, this unit, he might be a jack of all trades, master of none, but I don't know. I think he's a jack of all trades, master of all, almost.
All trades. Yeah, he's jack of all trades, master of all trades.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it really does. So, I think I probably have to put him over Soren because Felix is just going to kill the savior unit in most regards. In terms of how he stacks up in S is questionable, but I want to hear from you guys first.
Enemy, you first.
I think it's crazy because even though I said Bernie is the best, I can concede that title to Felix because of how insane he is. If I'm trying to look like future looking, like far in the future, then maybe under Soren, but that's a very hot take, and like even I'm like not fully convinced on it because I think he single-handedly like raise the value of near saves or just raise the value of melee defenses, because if you don't, you will most definitely disintegrate to this guy who will get to you. He will do it. And and it's just like, why'd they have to give him Endless Tempest? Like, my God, like it's
so annoying.
It's just, I will say,
so good.
I think people's opinion of him is very high because of Endless Tempest. Like, if we're measuring just on the kit, you know, he has a lot of good things. Maybe our opinion of him is higher because of how synergistic his base kit is, but it doesn't deny the fact that like he will work no matter what you give him, and he especially works with his base kit. And so for everything looking in, I think he's very good. I'm happy where he is right now, above Soren, under Bernie, and if you were to put him above Bernie, I would not even complain, because today he's a menace. But like longer term looking, I would actually prefer Bernie.
And we mentioned that with House Elder going too. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, like, it's just ridiculous.
Oh man.
Yeah, this guy is insane.
You had pretty much the same thoughts with me, honestly. Have nothing else to add.
Yeah, this guy is like crazy. And he's so fun to play with too. It's like not only is he good, but he's
yeah,
fun.
He's fun.
And like, I miss having fun in the game sometimes.
Yeah, same. Literally, like I was, for as crazy as this sounds, like even though I hate power creep, if they make more units fun like this, or I think for a similar reason why people love using their Brave Golveg, like if you make the game more fun, like we can put up with some more cringe. Like,
right,
you know,
exactly.
we do it every day, no matter what, anyway. So might as well have fun doing it. You know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. He is awesome. All right. So I think that's good. Now, last and certainly not least is Brave Female Robin. So, when I first saw her, I thought I was a bit unimpressed because it felt like it was a lot of rehashing old stuff. So she has, she has a Hush Spectrum, and I saw that, I was like, really, Hush Spectrum again? But I mean, if it's Hush Spectrum, but it's like already good, it's like it's not a bad thing. But she also was able to give her allies Canto 1, which is extremely good, and Panic on the foes as well. So these are a lot of things that are pretty decent in this day and age. A lot of people are just getting buffs for like bonuses for free, just for existing. So panicking that is really good. Hush Spectrum, you know, we don't need to say anything about that. It's just so goddamn broken. Yeah. Canto 1. Like, it just won, but that
still
leaves a lot of flexibility for rearranging for teams, for summoner duels. I know Canto Control is out there, but once you take out the Canto Control unit, it's really nice to have that flexibility. Her offenses are really great. She has Creation Pulse, which she uses really well because she's able to dish out a lot of penalties, so she's able to charge right into a Flare, which is really nice. And I haven't even mentioned Divine Vein Ice yet, which is actually something I was originally not very impressed with, just because, like, you know, just break it, you know, what does it matter? But breaking things takes a fucking turn, so she is essentially taking up turns at times, which is pretty freaking insane. And I believe in Ether Ray's defense, it just starts, like, the ice is just there, which for some reason I don't understand, but it's just there in the beginning of like the Ether Raid offense's player's turn, I believe. And that's like really annoying depending on how you set up the map. I think this unit is like crazy good. I definitely underestimated her a lot. Now, so I think she's definitely an S tier for sure. Like, I think we probably agree on that.
Yeah, I'm putting her in S.
Yeah. So before I like start ordering things, I'd like to get your opinions on it.
I'm with you. I was the exact same way, like Rocket Gal, with underestimating her. I remember watching the trailer, like the reveal.
Yeah.
And I was also unimpressed. It's nothing we haven't seen before beyond the ice, but I was just like, okay, whatever, more terrain. But the ice is so annoying.
It is so like, crazy.
It's like the opposite of Felix and Gulvik. Like, it is unfun. Like, it is just like not enjoyable to do. And it's funny that it's so unfun that they couldn't even, you know, like like they made Fjorm have the ice already, so it's tricky to evaluate how good she is for her bringing the ice, because you could argue she's not unique in that sense, and you're right, she's not. I think sooner or later, give it a year, we're gonna have like fortifications windy or snowy, and then bam, you just have like ice terrain everywhere,
Yeah.
like, you know, on some skill. But even so, I think it rivals the flared, the fire terrain is one of the best terrains we have right now. It also makes almost like, I think it's really good right now because flared skills like went down in value since Breath of Life came out. So people are putting up less terrain than they did before. It will trend upwards as now we have fortifications, and then I think people will start to bring it back in. But even so, I just think the ice is a humongous thing that will make her useful right now, and that's without talking about what we already talked about. The Hot Spectrum, the Kanto, the yada yada. Like, the Kanto is also very, very good. I've always been high on Kanto, and I think the fact that you're also getting it from her makes her insane. The only reason why I see her trending downwards is if Kanto becomes easier to outsource, if Hush Spectrum becomes less of a thing to deal with. Like, Micaiah cleanses, it's one of the highest ones to get cleansed by Micaiah. So I think even IS knows that they don't really like having Hush Spectrum be around for too crazy. So I kind of wonder if they're going to slowly nerf it later. But I think she's very good. I think she's above Soren. If I'm looking very, very far looking, assuming Soren remains unique, maybe Soren above Robin, but I would not argue with where she is right now. I think she's excellent.
Gotcha, yeah. How about you, Satachi?
The best way I can describe Brave Robin, like without counting the ice terrain, is that she's like a worse duo baby Robin. That's the best way I can describe her.
Really?
Yes. Just without the button and without the self-refresh, which admittedly is a lot to take away.
Right.
But the ice carries her so hard that I think that alone is what makes her S tier. I'm not gonna lie, if she did not have that, I put her in A.
Whoa.
Like, probably top of A. Like if she did not have that, because she does struggle. She does struggle combat-wise.
That's true, yeah.
With things that we've either faced before, or obviously like new threats that we're getting now. That ice, if you're like smart with your openings, you could actually use that ice to prevent you from like getting Celica ringed at times, and it's like really super duper useful. I think the ice terrain is by far like on its tier of its own, like the best terrain we have right now.
Terrain tier list coming up soon. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Because, well, at the very least with the way that it functions, because they just spawn and you have to break it. The only way for you to actually like get rid of it is like you either attack it, you attack an enemy and have deadly miasma, or you like run Lumera and like just replace it.
Your own
you know, that's huge. That's super huge, and like it's very hard to do. But yeah, I'd personally put her before Soren only because Soren has so much more flexibility. But like they're so interchangeable, I personally don't.
Yeah, the tacticians here are really jostling here, but
like I feel like Soren will not only age better, but I think does have now that Far Saviors are back, has better usage, because now you can just support like a melee unit and you'll be fine. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand right now.
Okay.
With Robin. But I don't mind either or. They're both interchangeable to me.
Yeah, they're so hard to compare with each other because they're so different. But I think I'm more pissed off when I see female Robin than I see Soren.
Nice.
Personally, I think I'd probably put Robin above Soren.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I'm actually with Satachi on putting her under him, only for the sake of... I honestly, I don't think they will stop with ice. I think they will make more terrain.
Yeah, we've already seen that,
like, take in that this is not the worst terrain we're going to have to deal with. Like, imagine a year from now, CYL 9, and it's just, like, even more cringe. You know, the fact that, you know, like Satachi said, the ice is the biggest thing she has going for her, which is an amazing thing. But the moment that is not useful, then she goes downwards.
She kind of does, yeah. Then she's like a worse duo young Robin, which not bad. That's I feel like that's
it's still good.
Very nice
Yeah,
to
yeah,
call
exactly.
a unit. Yeah,
It's better than
that's still
Lysithea.
really good.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah.
Okay. All right then. You guys convinced me. I think. Yeah, I'll put her there. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Okay, this video has gone on long enough. Do we want to
my
like
gosh.
adjust the tiers, or do you think we're pretty comfortable with where they all are?
I still think Crom deserves his own tier, but
He's top
beyond
of
that,
S. That's
I think he deserves Crom. Like, it should not even be called S+. It should just be called Crom.
It's funny.
my
The
God.
biggest gripe I have with this entire list is that Ephraim should be bottom 5. I said it.
oh, I still don't know about that, dude.
Also, I feel like Brave Violet is still a bit high, but I don't know if that's me. Like, you know, obviously I don't use her as much as you, Satachi, so I think it's like Alphonse under Violet is kind of
You
crazy
could.
to think about.
Probably put Alphonse above Violet, but I don't know. I just like grading units on what they do rather than but their potential.
No, true.
though.
I don't think. I don't
that's
think.
so-
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
that's so lame.
I
don't
agree
know.
with you on that. I don't think that is the main reasoning for putting him above Byleth.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Because I feel like we would agree plus 20 Alphonse would probably be at the top of it. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'd agree
Yeah.
with that, maybe.
I think it's just tricky.
But, like, it's just getting there is such a hassle.
Exactly. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
so-
happy with the Alphonsing. I just feel like because we're looking at it from player phase, but then the only thing that makes her good in player phase is her ability to like unleash Divine Pulse, right? Because her kit is mostly enemy phase, so I'm just like, does she warrant being that high on just the ability to dish out Divine Pulse? It's kind of tricky.
Well, she'll just not. If she does progress, she literally just does not get killed. After
That's true.
she
Yeah.
procs it,
Aside from like brave attacks.
which is
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Brave Violet is the one that we're really hung up on.
Yeah.
Damn.
Out of
Okay.
all the ones.
I
yeah.
think she's good, but A tier. I think I could-
Yeah, it's very.
I think bottom of A tier.
Bottom A tier.
I think I can concede that personally. Maybe.
Yeah, I would put her. She's like the B. I would put it in B, but if we want to put it in A, then we can put her up there.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a flyer. She at least, if the worst comes to worst, she can still provide some guidance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
there's at least that. So
That's true.
So yeah, that I think that about covers this tier list. This is the official Chaos Squad tier list of the Brave Heroes. Any other Brave Hero tier list is objectively wrong because we didn't tier them, obviously. So yeah, but in all seriousness, please let us know what you feel about our opinions. Let us know if you think we missed something, because you know we're not omniscient, you know, beings. We're not Phoenix Master 1 here, or Joel, so we don't know everything. These are just, but we are relatively knowledgeable, high-level players. So I feel like, you know, while we got things made just a bit correct, there are some things we probably definitely missed out on. Some maybe like narrow like use cases that we might have missed out on. So please let us know just how you think about this and what you think we missed. And just let me know how your day is doing in general, because I'm always curious about how you're doing. And I care for you guys. I care for all of you. So, yeah.
Well said.
yeah, that,
Very well said.
Yeah, so, if you're still here at the end of this, at this point, 3-hour video, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. So, yeah, any last words from my fellow Chaos Squad members?
Thanks so much for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah,
Oh,
thanks
yeah.
for joining. Yeah, you know, I didn't. Sorry that it took this long, but at the very least, I had fun.
This is a blast. This
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Gotcha. Well, I think that might mean there might be more Chaos Squad tier lists coming in the future. But
Oh, let's go.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. So yeah, that about covers this tier list of the Brave Heroes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.